I'm hoping since we're in the middle of dry season that the trail itself shouldn't be like overly mucky or muddy, so we'll see. Pink line across the road. I guess I will lift it over here. Yeah, that's why. Ay, ay, ay. I've said before in my trips here how bad a shape this boardwalk's in. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to have to just close it at some point when someone steps through a rotted board, because there's a lot of rotted boards. Okay, here we go. Trail riding. This isn't my jam. Don't do it very often, if ever. Gotta really pay attention because there's lots of potential hazards here in the path, especially a lot of roots, random rocks, and of course I'm always keeping my eyes open for super soft sandy patches, which there's some roots, which electric unicycles don't like. This first mile or two of the path is pretty matted down from all the foot traffic. This is actually, if you do the whole thing, it's like a roots. If you do the whole thing, it's like a 12 or 13 mile loop, so it's quite lengthy. And the back portions, oh my goodness, the back portions are not nearly as worn as these, so more hazards back there and more alligators. I mean, the M Super handles roots, well, because of its big diameter, but still, you got to be ready for them. I feel like I can't really look around at all. I got to keep my eyes focused on this path at all times to make sure I don't zig when I should have zagged. I was thinking about coming out here with Katie sometime. She loves doing different kind of riding like this. I'm just a little worried that her Inmotion V5F is going to be very, very difficult to maneuver in these terrain because it's a smaller wheel, not as much power, not as much ground clearance, so I don't know how well it would do on a path like this, but I have a feeling if I ask her, she'll be willing to try anyways. Getting a little deeper. Those of you that are members on the Electric Unicycle Forum may or may not have seen that I actually listed my MCM.
Find any gators?
She's chilling. So you got to see a couple large gators. Cool. I would not technically advise people to get that close to gators, but I have an escape mechanism underneath me, I think. Oh wow, muddy. Stay in the dry spot. Okay. All kinds of noises going on. Gator, hello, hi buddy.
Oh, there we go.
Something large in the distance. What is that? That is a gator. Luckily the path is pretty wide here. Hi buddy, it's okay. It's okay. Good boy. Good boy. Buddy, another one. That guy was freaking huge. Huge. Oh God. Gator. A whole shitload of them. They don't look too big, but there's several.
Look at that.
Wow. They're really tired of it. They must have seen guys on electric unicycles before. I mean, they're not even flinching. Another gator. Hello. In case you can't tell, I really just kind of would like to get back at
Well,
this
it's
point.
good to know that I've been insane for a long time.
About as much excitement as I need right now.
All right, guys, we're going to stop this. Just,
I've lost track. I have no idea how many I've
about
seen.
Gators. I don't even know if you can hear me, actually. Can you hear me? The last live stream, we had an issue with my Yeti mic. I believe it's corrected. Test. Can you hear me? It was like breaking up last time. Kind of sounded like a robot. Hopefully we're good now. Let's remove it. Okay. Test. Someone tell me how I sound. So I don't start talking for 15 minutes and don't look at the comments and realize that the sound is shitty. Crunchy tires here. Hey, sound is good. Is that okay? I'm good. All right, good. Glad to hear it. Basically, what I had to do to get it corrected was I plugged it into a different USB port. Sometimes, USB stuff can get flaky sometimes. So that's what I did. That is what I did to correct it. So hey, welcome. So I got a when I posted the notice about this live stream, I got a message from Dale. Dale was concerned because it says the last one. Does this mean it's going to be the last live stream ever? No, but it is going to be the last live stream that you see in this house. My time in this house is quickly coming to an end. This upcoming Monday, I close on the house that I bought. And then all next week, I'm going to be working in earnest, getting whatever I can get myself over there. And then I have, let's shut down email. And then I have a moving company that is contracted to come out the following Saturday, 2 Saturdays from now, to move furniture and whatever boxes I might have for them. But yeah, I'll talk about the move more. But it's coming together. There's various things that are working out well for me. At least I feel they are. So hopefully that's the case. You guys probably have seen one of the reasons that I played that video with the M Super V3 is because I was recently in the swamp with the V13. Went in there over the weekend. V13 performed very well. The V13 is still here, by the way. The V13 is sitting over here to my left, just hanging out. Haven't ridden it this week. I sent an email to Jason early in the week saying, "Hey, Jason, I'm done with it, and wherever you want it to go next, let me know." And I had not heard back from him, so I guess I'm going to have to ping him again. I know he gets. His inbox is insane, and it's very easy. Like if he gets an email and he doesn't see it or respond to it right away, it's going to get buried down the list. So I'm going to probably have to email him again. Because I want to find out where he wants me to send the V13, and also if I'm still going to be getting the EX30, which I'm going to have to coordinate with moving. So that will be interesting, but I'll make it work. So that is my deal with the V13. Now, in my video series, I did a total of 7 videos in the V13. I tested it pretty thoroughly, and I still have not posted the video. I did shoot video where I took the wheel apart. And the reason I took the wheel apart was during the, I've actually did 2, I started one range test and then did another range test later. During the first range test that I did, which I shot a video, which actually is available to members only on my channel, just FYI. The wheel started to develop like a tap sound. It was weird because it wasn't consistent. But it was definitely there. It was like a tapping sound. The first thing that came into my mind, like, oh, well, the V13s have this issue with motor bolts potentially coming loose. Maybe a motor bolt is coming loose and it's causing the tap. So after talking with Jason, I got his permission. I said, hey, I'm happy to drop the motor on it and see if I notice anything abnormal. And he said, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I did. So I got experience with taking the V13 apart. And I can report that it is not that difficult. It really was not that hard to get the motor dropped out. Once I got it dropped out, I checked all of the motor bolts, and they all seemed fine. I took them all out, though. I took them all out and put them all back in, and they were not loose. They were not sheared. They seemed fine. So the weird thing is after I put the wheel back together, the tapping noise, like on that range test I just did last Sunday, you hardly heard it. It once in a blue moon you would hear it, but it was basically gone. So I don't know what's going on. If there's just some sort of weirdness in the bearing, or I don't know. Usually with a bearing noise, it's going to be very consistent, and it was not. So I really don't know what the deal is. But it hasn't affected the functionality. I've done speed tests, range tests, and it's been good. Growing old and having fun. Just send it to Chooch, yeah. Well, here he got the V13 that was sent to him from Marty, so I don't think he needs two of them. But yeah, good idea. Crunchy Tower, did Inmotion ditch the early bird pricing? I don't know. Maybe they dropped the price because there's been a lot of. Let me see what e-wheels are selling for. There's been a lot of criticism about the price of the wheel, which I mentioned in my wrap-up video a couple of days ago. That was one of the main negatives, was the less than stellar range and the price. Those are probably the two biggest negatives with a V13. Let's see. Okay, so eWheels is still listing it as early bird pricing. I don't know when early bird pricing expires, but eWheels is selling it for the same $4,000 as well. And it does not indicate when that pricing will go away. So it's not $4,600. That's nice. So if you want one, you can get it for $4,000 instead of $4,600, which puts it right in line with the Sherman, puts it in line with the Master Pro. Let's see, what's the Sherman S selling for? Yeah, the Sherman S is actually more expensive than the V13. So I misquoted, or I misstated, because I said in that video, the wrap-up video, that the V13 is the most expensive wheel you can buy. Currently, that is not true. If the price does revert back to $4,500 or $4,600, that will be true. But actually, at least via eWheels, the Sherman S is currently more expensive than the V13 by $150. So yeah, keep that in mind. So I stand corrected. Spartacus is thinking about Chooch trying to ride two V13s down the trails. Oh yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Growing old and having fun. Yeah, Chooch got the one that Marty had, that Dawn was testing, and Roger was on it as well. That is the wheel that Chooch has right now. That is the one. But like I said in my video, overall, I really enjoyed the V13. It's a good wheel for me with my, because I'm between 6'2" and 6'3". I'm tall, I'm lanky, fits my dimensions well. The most stable wheel at speed, even though I'm not the type of person that's going to routinely cruise at 40 miles an hour plus. If you are that type of person, the V13 is going to be very, very comfortable at that speed, while having safety precautions that will do their best to keep you safe while going that speed. It definitely is a safe wheel. There's no doubt about that. But like I said in the video, I'm still very happy with my Sherman S, and I would not trade my Sherman S for a V13. I like the range of the Sherman S. The suspension of the Sherman S is more comfortable than the V13. But the V13 does have a lot of positives for it, for sure. It definitely does. Growing old and having fun. Up here in Canada, I can get a Sherman S for $53.80 Canadian. Well, I'm not quite sure what the exchange rate is right now between Canada and the United States, so I don't know if that's good or bad. So you have to let me know if you're saying that like it's a good thing or that's a bad thing. I don't really know. Crunchy Tire. I pre-ordered the V13 on day one, but canceled and went with the Master. Doing it over, I wouldn't buy either. Too many problems in the Master and too fragile. Oh yeah, what kind of problems have you had with the Master? I see lots and lots of people going crazy over the EX30. So many people are saying they love the EX30, and it seems like there's a lot to love. The center of balance on that wheel is good. I guess the pedals are a little bit lower than like the Master, for example. The power, the torque, the top speed, the stability at speed, all supposedly really, really impressive. So I hope I do get to test one. I'd like to try it for myself. I still don't think you'll ever approach, Bugoda will never approach the build quality of, an Inmotion V13. But, it sounds like in certain regards, they are taking incremental steps to make their wheels better quality. With the EX30, they now have the solid metal casing up top, which is new. Instead of having the cheap plastic battery boxes, which don't offer hardly any protection unless you buy one of these third-party kits, from like Clark or Grizzly. They went with the metal battery box, which I believe is the same metal battery box that's on my EX20S, which I still have, by the way. I haven't revisited trying to sell it, but I still have that wheel. So if you want to give me one less thing to move, you can buy my EX20S. Very soft suspension, very long range. It's the high torque, by the way. So yeah, the EX30, it sounds good. Sean liked it. Sean in New York City, he liked it. I don't know that I heard of anyone that didn't like it yet. Jack liked it. It's an impressive wheel. The only negative footage I saw of the EX30 is when Sean was riding down some like marble or granite steps or whatever in New York City, and the mud guard was hitting the steps every step on the way down. So there's that. But I would think, I wonder if those steps were like extra wide, because if the steps were extra wide, I could see that maybe happening. But if they're normal steps, I don't know. It seems like other people have been able to go down steps with the EX30 without a problem. So I don't know. It could have just been those particular steps. Growing Old and Having Fun says EVs is 5,800. So EVs is, so the Sherman S is 5,800 through EVs. And so who would you get it for 5,380 Canadian up in Canada if it's not EVs? I don't know of I'm trying to think, what other dealers are there up in Canada? I know there are some. But I'm not quite sure. So I'm trying to think anything more V13 related to talk about. When I put the wheel back together, like I said, it's been back and forth twice actually. There's a couple gotchas that I learned from putting it back together. One of the things that unfortunately happened is when I put it back together the first time, the cable that runs from the system board to the wire harness, I should say. It's a wire harness that runs from the system board up to the display / power button. It got pinched somehow. I don't know, that it got pinched when I put it back together the first time, and the end result of that was the light behavior is weird. Like the light wants to stay on all the time when the wheel's running. I lost the ability to turn the light on and off. So that's kind of a thing. Again, it didn't impact testing the wheel at all, but yeah, that was a thing. And the other thing that I learned was the first time I put it together, I couldn't get the one shock, the top of the shock tower to be up far enough to be able to screw it in. You have to actually, or at least you have to either extend it by hand, or I just put a little bit of pressure in it to pop it up so it actually the tower goes up high enough that you can get a screw in it. So I learned that as well, which I think Inmotion actually kind of demonstrated that on their second teardown video. Inmotion just posted a video where they demonstrated how to replace the motor bolts, because in the initial teardown video they don't mention it at all. Like, you have to make sure that the shock is extended far enough that you can screw into it. But on the second one, it did look like they grabbed it and they extended it so you could actually get a screw in it. So And like I said, I do have the video of me tearing it down. I will probably edit that together, and that'll probably be a members only thing as well, because I don't know. I don't think it's anything that's really that educational, but I had the footage, so I might as well do something. Okay, so growing old and having fun can get that price on the Sherman S from a guy selling out of their house. So a guy selling out of their house is able to get a Sherman? Really? I thought Sherman, like Veteran, had deals with specific dealers. Now I know with Begode, pretty much anybody can become a Begode dealer. More or less, if you commit to buy a bulk wheels, I think like the minimum is like 10. If you buy 10 or more wheels, you get bulk pricing, and you can save a lot of money. Like Marty was talking about that in his recent videos, how he's saving a lot of money on these Begode wheels, buying from someone out there. I think the guy's in California. Liam, is it Liam? Who is doing this. So Marty's getting steep discounts on his Begode wheels by doing that. Crunchy Tire talking about problems with his Master. Blew the controller on stairs. Really? Going downstairs or upstairs? Taillight broken out of the box. Yeah, I have heard the taillight kind of sucks. Upgraded charging board Alien Ride sent me, caused my wheel to stop charging early. Oh, yeah? Okay. Part of the upgrade I did to my T4 was I got a new charging board from Alien Rides, and it seems like the wheel charges okay. Hopefully. And he mentioned how the Master needs Clark pads and a falls to survive. That's true. Yeah, like if you don't pad up the wheel, it is brittle. You're right. You're right. But still, there's lots of people that love their Masters. Okay, the suspension adjustment, that was another issue with the Master, especially the earliest ones where they would bottom out constantly. Supposedly the later revisions of the wheel, it's better. But a lot of people, again, go to third-party sources to change the Master suspension. They change the linkage, they change the shock. Like Marty has a coilover shock on his Master. He loves it. It's great. But again, I mean, wheels are expensive enough, and you're spending all this extra money to make the wheel as it should be. Okay, so you blew the board going upstairs. Okay, well, I could see how that could happen depending on what happened going up those stairs. Like if it was a steep stair, or if you didn't hit it high enough and it just kind of pushed against it and didn't really climb it. I could see that happening, I guess. Growing old and having fun. There's a few guys doing it and they're flipping them out without having to wait. Yeah, that's good for you, man. That's a good deal. You know, the only caveat in a situation like that is, you have to be comfortable handling any potential problems on the wheel yourself. I don't know that you can get warranty, like say a board blows. Can you get a warranty board from them, from the people you buy it from? I doubt it. I don't know. So that is the risk in that situation. But like my S22, I bought it from oh God, it's not Roger. I'm drawing a blank. The guy that Marty used to get his wheels from. I got my S22 from him. So yeah, I feel like I'm kind of shit out of luck as far as getting the motor replaced because of the potential stator issue. So you do have to be aware that if you need support, you might struggle depending on who you buy it from. Wilson's here. The V13 looks nice, and I like the features it offers, but I'm still wondering where this wheel fits in people's staples. Not good range, so a speed cruiser. Well, I mean, on my range test, I got really fast speeds right until 10%. Once you hit 10%, then it starts to limit you significantly. Like I think I wrote it down to 6%, and it was barking at me if I went over 15 miles an hour. So. But down to 10%, it was pretty. I didn't get any warnings, and I was still riding mid-20s, even upper 20s. So the wheel is very, very comfortable at speed. Now, if you typically are riding less than 50 miles, it's fine. It's just a use case. But theoretically, I understand if you're spending that kind of money, even if you don't normally go that far, you want to have the capability to go that far if you're spending that much money. I totally understand that. And that's one of the things about the Sherman S that appeals to me, that I know I can get 70 miles of range going similar speeds to what I was going on the V13. Growing old and having fun in regards to servicing a wheel that you buy in a situation like that. Nope, you're on your own. EVs won't even sell me parts for the Master because I didn't buy from them. Really? Well, I mean, I can understand that and not understand it. I mean, if they're selling it at, for a profit to themselves, I don't know why they wouldn't want to sell to you. So if you need parts, what are you going to do? Or where do you get them from? Alien Rides? I get the feeling that Alien Rides doesn't give a shit if you bought it from them or not. They'll sell you parts, I think. E-Wheels, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Jason's policy is on that. Okay, Crunchy Tire. Okay, you just answered that question for me. E-Wheels will sell you parts even if you didn't buy there. Yeah, because if they're making money on it, why wouldn't they sell it to you? And if you have a good interaction with them and you build a repertoire with them, maybe the next wheel you will buy from them. So I think it's a win-win if a dealer sells someone parts, even if they didn't buy from them. But that's just my opinion. No alcohol tonight, by the way. It's a school night, Thursday night. You use Speedy Feet? Yeah, I bought parts from Speedy Feet. Well, accessories. I haven't really had to buy parts, but Ian he'll sell you anything too. So Crunchy Tire got a warranty. So they serviced your warranty work from Alien Rides? Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've had a good experience with Alien Rides. I bought my T4 from them, shipped out quickly. With the issues with the T4, they sent me the complete kit where I got a new motor with a new knobby tire. They forgot to send me the kickstand at first, but then I said, hey, I just opened the box, didn't have a kickstand. They sent me a kickstand out right away, the updated charger port, and the shims that you need to adjust the height of the wheel to accommodate the knobby tire. Yeah, I've had nothing but a good experience with Alien Rides. And it seems like most people have as well. Okay, talking about e-wheels, he sold it to me at cost, I think. Alien Rides quoted $500 for the board, for the master board. Really? That much? Yeah, that sounds high. But Jason gave it to me for around $300. Okay, nice. I've gotten some feedback from people that I guess recently they had issues getting responses from e-wheels. So I'm not sure if there's something going on right now that I don't know, because like I said, I sent that email earlier in the week and did not hear anything either. So maybe there potentially is something going on right now with Jason or e-wheels. I don't know, but I will probably send him another email tomorrow. Growing old and having fun. EVs won't even take cash. Yeah, EVs has been getting some flack lately about various things. Yeah. I like Bradley and Lucas. They seem like cool guys, but it does seem like they've been getting some flack, some blowback, some negativity kind of thrown their way, which is unfortunate because they are very powerful. They're very positive people, it seems, and they seem nice enough. But you had all the mess with Wrong Way and stuff related to like negative reviews on the Commander Pro, and I've seen stuff posted in the forums about people like reaching out to get stuff handled and just being dropped by them. So yeah, they've been taking some heat recently. Wilson says e-wheels and Alien Ride sells parts regardless. Okay, good. Well, it's good to know. Mr. Larry Zarkov is here. Hey everybody, what's up, Larry? Saw your video of you riding by that street that you ride on, which I guess I don't know. Is it bike and pedestrian? Seems like you always are having issues there. Larry was riding today, and there was some. I don't know if he's a homeless guy with a shopping cart, but he was verbally aggressive towards Larry. I thought it was kind of funny. Crunchy Tire says it took a long time regarding your parts purchase. I might not buy from AR again. I definitely wouldn't call it a good experience, but they did come through in the end. Oh, really? Okay. Well, sorry to hear that. EUC with Lucifer. Alien Rides has good service if you pay for it. E-Wheels just has good service at no extra charge. So what do you mean? So what do you mean that you get service if you pay for it? Not quite sure. If you pay extra for it, you mean? Wilson agrees. But it's funny, like no matter what dealer you're talking about, you can find people that that have fantastic experiences and nothing but good things to say, and you know, people that will trash talk the shit out of them because they had a bad experience. So, and usually the people that have a negative experience are much more likely to be vocal about that experience. So it's kind of hard. But definitely, I mean, that's part of life, right? I have that experience with all kinds of aspects of my day-to-day existence. Yeah, we got to talk more about the house stuff too, right? Crunchy tire, pay for it like sending a wheel to them for repair, you mean? Cameron's here. Hey, Cameron, what's up, buddy? Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. Larry says regarding that path where he has all the belligerent individuals. It's a long connector path on the way to and from home. The guy was in the middle of the road and lunged at me twice before I started shooting. Oh, that was before. Oh, before you started shooting? Okay. Well, yeah, that sounds great. I mean, was he a homeless guy, Larry? I mean, that's the impression I got. You know, maybe some mental illness creeping in there. Growing gold and having fun. I tried e-wheels, but because of the fire, they were only selling to repeat customers, so I went speedy feet. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how recovered Jason is as far as his parts inventory. I mean, he lost you know, how many millions of dollars in parts inventory from the fire. So I don't know how much progress he's made in rebuilding that. So, and I don't know if that repeat customer thing is still in progress or not, like if they're still only selling to repeat customers. Larry says there is a pedestrian walkway, but he wasn't in it. Okay, well, that sucks. And Larry was on the beach today. Good, man. Good. Growing old and having fun regarding people that have a negative experience, 10 times more likely to be vocal. Yes. Yes, I do agree. Just hold on one second. I'm arranging to have the lady that cleaned this house prior to me showing it and prior to them taking pictures of the house. I'm having her clean the house that I'm moving into as well. And she did a really good job here. So I would like to use her there. So I'm arranging that. One of the many things that I'm arranging, I feel like I'm a circus performer. I'm juggling a lot of things right now. But that's normal with buying and selling a house, right? It is normal. EUC with Lucifer. Is it just me or is this live buffering a lot? I don't know. Is it? I can't tell. It looks fine for me. Let me shut down anything unnecessary in the background. Well, it shouldn't be a big deal, but you never know. Let's see. Ooh, what? I thought I uninstalled that. Okay. Get rid of that. Anything else? That's fine. We don't need that. Don't need that. I'm shutting down anything unnecessary, guys. That's fine. Don't need that either. Okay. I'll shut down a bunch of resident programs that may or may not be, trying to harvest bandwidth, but I should be good because I have a gig Xfinity internet package, right? Which is top of the line. Sure costs a lot, which I hope to take with me when I move. I'll tell you one thing I'm looking forward to is my cell service out here in this general area, and it annoys me. I have AT&T. This area where I live, it's remote to Naples, but there's a ton of people that live out here, and it seems like AT&T doesn't give a shit. Like they for years and years and years I mean, basically as long as I've lived here, the cell service out in this area has been shitty, and it seems like they don't want to invest in making it any better. It's annoying because there's so many people that have moved to this area since I've moved here 20 years ago, just because of affordability. You know, the further out you go, the more affordable it is. Although now with the prices of everything, everything's expensive. You know, which benefits me that, you know, I'm selling my house and I'm buying a house that's, you know, $100,000 less. So it's going to be good for me. But of course, I'm moving into something that is a third less in square footage. So, but it's good for me. It's good. All right, I lost my spot. Where am I? Oh, Larry said the guy on the trail was homeless or plum crazy, couldn't tell, but it added sparkle to my day. Yeah, hey, that was definitely a sparkling moment for sure. Cameron, your V12 burning that fire? Really? So what happened? Did eWheels Insurance replace that for you, or what happened with your V12? So it seems like Lucifer is the one that's having some buffering problems. Yeah, you don't want to hack into your neighbor's internet. You never know. You never know. Stuart, V13 gone now, Duff? No, it's actually sitting about 4 feet to my left, leaning up against some furniture. Originally I thought it was going to be gone during this week. I emailed, I mentioned this earlier. I emailed Jason after my last video, which I shot Monday. Actually, I shot that Monday night, I think. And I said, hey, I'm all done. Where do you want to send it next? And can I still get the EX30? And I haven't heard anything, so it's still sitting here. I haven't really had the time to ride it anymore. I don't know. I'm ready to send it back. I'm ready. I got too many other things that I have to deal with now. I can't really get out on the V13 anymore. Simon's here from Australia. I thought Dale might be here because he did message me on Facebook, but I guess not. What's up, man? You know who is not here? Leo from Brazil. I'm surprised. He always hops in here at some point. Okay, so there's something else EUC related that I wanted to talk about. Shit, what was it? It left my mind. I don't know. So anyways, one of the challenges with moving is you have to figure out the logistics. How am I going to handle this? So now I am kind of lucky. I mean, it didn't feel lucky at the time, but because I got my whole house painted inside and out, that spurred, I had to basically clean out the inside of the house to be able to paint it. And in that process, I got rid of so much shit. And what I didn't get rid of was a lot of it was already taken out to the sheds, and a lot of it was already put in a box or a container. And after the house was painted, I only moved back in what I thought I needed. I did not go crazy with moving everything back into the house because I knew that it was going to be, it was a finite thing. I was not going to be living here forever. So that's one good thing. But the other good thing is, because again, this house is smaller that I'm moving into, I don't need all the furniture that I have. So like this cabinet behind me, that's one of the don't need things. I have a bigger version over there, another cabinet. I don't really need it. I don't really want to take up the space at the new place. I have a 70-inch TV. Guess what? I'm not gonna be able to use it. Not until some potential remodeling is done. I don't really have a good space there to put a 70-inch TV. There's lots of situations like that. So I had to come up with what I wanted to do with this furniture that I wasn't going to keep. There's 2 more pieces in the great room I don't want. So I'm like, oh man, do I like put it on Facebook Marketplace, and you got to deal with all the scammers, and then you got to sort through all the people and arrange times to show it to them, and then potentially help them move this shit. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. And then another suggestion that I got was to call like a charity organization, like here in Naples, they have a place called St. Matthew's House. There's Goodwill, of course. In certain situations, as long as the furniture isn't junk, you can arrange to have them come pick it up if you want to donate to them. So that's what I was thinking about doing. But then I had this brilliant idea. I do have brilliant ideas once in a while, not very often, but once in a while. I'm like, I wonder if the people that are buying my house would want the stuff. That would be nice. So I contacted their realtor and I said, hey, here's the pictures of what I don't want. I'm going to give it away. But if the buyers potentially want this or any of this stuff, let me know and they can have it. They are going to take every single thing. I think it's like half a dozen things, half a dozen pieces of furniture. They're going to take everything. I'm like, great. I don't have to move it. I don't have to touch it. And it's going to result in me having far less to move on moving day, which means that the movers will potentially cost me less as well. So yeah, I thought that was a good sequence of events for me. All right, back to, let's see, we're getting back to Cameron's story about his V12 that burned up in the E-Wheels fire. V2 Gen 1 went in for bad bearings. Warehouse fire occurred. E-Wheels sent me a Gen 2 V12 that blew midgets, it's probably MOSFETs, blew the MOSFETs while riding. So they sent me a replacement Gen 3 board, pretty wild, put 7,500 miles on it. Oh, nice, okay. Well, that worked out well. I'm curious how long the time frame was that it took to get all that done, like how long it was before we had a V12 again. That's great. I love my V12. Yeah, it's been sold, but I do love it, or did love it. Growing old and having fun. Lucifer, you're the one that got knocked out wearing the TSG? I don't know. I didn't hear about that. I did not hear about that. I know TSG helmets are infamous for looking cool, but providing a pretty minimal protection for your skull. They do look cool. Like, how did you guys like Alien Rise? They posted their V13 sizzle reel, or I mean, they call it a review, I guess, but it's almost all B-roll, it seems. But the guy that they had riding it at 55 miles an hour or whatever, he had a helmet on and nothing else. I don't know. I mean, like the old me, I would be ranting and raving about that, blah, blah, blah. You know, it sets a bad example for everybody, you know, riding high speeds. And he's a dealer. Why would a dealer post footage of someone riding at 50 miles an hour with just a helmet on? That's irresponsible, blah, blah, blah. The new me is like, I don't give a shit. Whatever. You know, I don't know what it is. I mean, that's my attitude about a lot of things nowadays. The amount of shit that I have to give it keeps going down. I just, I figure Murphy's Law is going to take care of it. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, basically. So if you want to take the risk of riding at that speed with no gear, okay, hopefully you're fine. If you have an incident and you're severely injured, I feel badly for you, but everyone makes their own bed. So I just, whatever. Simon's going to message Dale. No, well, he knows. I mean, he knows Simon because he saw the post on Facebook about it. So he knows. He might just be, he might be hanging out with the unvaxxed crowd, because evidently there's like an online dating scene for unvaxxed people. So he's taking advantage of it. Crunchy Tire says, I still have my V12 with original board, 1,200 miles on it. Survived overheat hill. Nice. Well, yeah. Well, my V12 was one of the first 30 V12s that E-Wheels got into the country. So it was, I don't know if you'd call it Gen 1 or pre-Gen 1. But I never replaced the board. I never had a problem. And as far as I know, the person that bought it has not had a problem either. But there was clearly a problem with the MOSFETs in that later batch. EUC with Lucifer agrees exactly with something I just said. I don't know, maybe about the TSG helmets. The TSG propaganda must die. Does that mean that you agree that TSGs are shitty helmets, or that you think TSG is getting a bad rap? What do you think? Function over fashion. Oh yeah. Well, I've never owned a TSG helmet, and like I said, they do look cool, but they seem like they're You know, there's not much to them. Brain injuries are not fun. You know, knock on glass. I haven't had one recently, but yeah, I wouldn't want to have one. It's so funny when I wish I had the camera rolling when I did that the range test. Those of you that have seen it, if you see the portion where when I'm out at Ave Maria and I'm in the pavilion that has 4 metal picnic benches. If I had the camera rolling when I freaking face planted into the one bench and bent the selfie stick, I mean, it was just ridiculous. Basically, what I did was I got done filming, and I always mount with my left leg on first, which is dumb. I never became comfortable doing it with both legs. But I mounted, and I was kind of close to the picnic bench that was on my left. Not really thinking about it. But the V13, it's a big ass wheel. So I did something wrong with the mount, and as a result, I kind of swung left a little bit, and there was no room because I was right at the freaking picnic bench. So I had no option but to just basically dive off the bench. Selfie stick goes underneath me, gets bent to hell, but then my face hits the top of the picnic bench. So like if I had on like a skater helmet or something, there's a good shot that I could have smashed my jaw, my teeth. So I was very, very glad that I had on a full face helmet. The ironic thing is I was going probably 1 mile an hour when that happened, but I still could have gotten effed up. So you just never know. Crunchy says you don't ride the V12 much. You love it. Yeah, mine was a high speed version as well. Well, all of them were high speed for a period of time. Elsa, what's wrong with your ear? Do we have to clean your ear? Do you have to clean your ear? I think we're going to have to. Crunchy Tire says it's a reliable backup when my main goes down. What's your main? What's your main wheel? Maybe you said it. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I just missed it. I don't know. Oh, Cameron. Okay, talking about the TSG. People preaching it's a safe helmet. Really? Who preaches that? If they are, I've missed that sermon. I've never heard someone say that a TSG is a safe helmet. It just looks cool. Sometimes that's all that matters to certain people. George says the road where AR did the speed test is actually a 35 mile an hour speed limit road with a slight pitch downhill. Oh, really? So like maximizes the speed there? Yeah, no, their videos are entertaining. I just, like I said, the old me would be more concerned with the bad example it sets. The new me doesn't give a flying F. Richard Guy, never too late to skill up and improve your non-dominant leg mounting. Yeah, no, I've done it periodically. I probably haven't done it in a year and a half, and I should do it. It would actually probably be good for me. Like some of the issues I have with sciatica, which is like back pain. It's right at the top of your rear end, basically. Like most mornings when I wake up, like the first 10 minutes, I can hardly freaking walk. It's crazy. It's crazy that I can still play volleyball and pickleball because it loosens up once I get moving. But the first 10 minutes, man, it feels like someone has a freaking vice on my ass cheek, and I walk around. I'm just pushing into this muscle to try to release it. And I often thought, well, maybe if I got this side of my body equally strong as this side is, because I feel much stronger bracing on my left side. If I force myself to do it on the right side, it would probably help that problem and that inequity in strength that I have between those two sides. And the really dumb thing is I'm right-legged. You're usually the leg that you're going to mount with is your dominant leg. I'm right-legged, but I mount with my left leg. So yeah, but I've talked about this before. This is another funny thing. I was talking to my sister today. I play most sports left-handed. I throw left-handed. I play basketball left-handed. I play volleyball left-handed. I play racket sports right-handed. I don't know. I blame the right-handed racket sports on when I was a young kid. My mom took me for tennis lessons, and I specifically remember the instructor forced me to play with my right hand because I guess playing left-handed was seen as a negative thing, I guess. I don't know. So I assume that's probably why it is. But it's just weird how certain things don't match up in my brain. I'm kind of cross-wired there. Wilson says, all respect to Lucifer, but check out his video. It will think twice if TSG should be your daily noggin protector. Well, I saw Marty and Dawn did a video where Dawn, I guess they were insinuating that a TSG helmet is so shitty that Dawn could crack it between her thighs. It did make a cracking sound. She didn't totally break it, but it did not look durable or impressive. Larry saw Elsa. Elsa is now laying here, stretched out. That's gonna be an interesting thing to see how Elsa does at the new house. I know she's gonna be freaked out. All new. She never lived anywhere but here, so it's gonna be hard for her. She doesn't deal with change very well, like her dad, I guess. Although I'm getting better with it. But I think the house is gonna be really nice for her because it has a great fenced-in yard. Evidently the current owners, they used to have a dog, so there's a dog door that goes from the kitchen out to the covered lanai. It's a big covered lanai, and then there's another dog door that goes from the covered lanai out to the yard. So if I get her trained to use those, I think she'll really enjoy the freedom that she'll have there. Cameron says it's always a super slow-paced falls that gets you. Yeah, God, if the camera was rolling, it looks so ridiculous, I'm sure. I mean, thank God nobody was around. The embarrassment. Dan's here. What's up, Dan? Dan sees Elsa as well. Dan has met Elsa in person. Simon says TSG is a glorified bicycle helmet. You need a motorcycle helmet for motorcycle speeds. I agree. I do agree with you. Wilson says, check out kettlebell stretches for sciatica pain. Okay. I do a lot of stretching. I also have a percussion massager that I've been using. I need to use it more consistently. But the one bad thing is I played pickleball yesterday at lunch. I played pickleball today at lunch. I'm going to be playing pickleball tomorrow at lunch as well. And days that I'm playing pickleball at lunch means I'm not going to the gym. And part of my gym routine is stretching, where I'm doing stretches for all kinds of things, but including that area. So I need to be more diligent with stretching at home, just to keep it away. I mean, it's manageable, but those first 10 minutes of the day, oof, it is bad. It's bad. Crunchy Tire says, I do distance riding a lot, so the Commander is my go-to right now. RS-19. I used to have an RS-19 for trails. I also have an M10-3 and Nikola AR, but we'll probably sell those. I have 6 wheels right now. Okay, nice. I think I have 6 wheels. I always have a hard time naming my wheels. T4, S22, EX20S, Sherman S, V10F. What am I forgetting? Is that it? Yeah, so what, 5 wheels? Do I have 5 wheels right now? Yeah. Yeah, I think I have 5 wheels. Okay, well, then that means you have more wheels than me. And if I get rid of the EX20S, I would only have 4 wheels? No, that can't be right. No, I think I have 6 wheels. What am I forgetting, baby? T4, EX20S, KingSong S22, M10-4, V10F. I feel like I'm forgetting one. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys know what wheels I have better than I do. Wouldn't surprise me. Crunchy Tire says, Master was my main, but it was out of service for months, and now the range feels too small for me. Do you have a 50E Master or a Molly Cell Master? What do you have? Cameron says, there's a few in my community who swear it's a safe helmet, and I just don't know how to convince them otherwise. I've had a few motorcycle accidents. Helmets are no joke. I mean, Cameron, my feeling is much like what I said about people that, go high speeds and don't wear gear. It's kind of their problem, You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. And the more that I have adopted that mindset, the less frustration I feel. Crunchy met with, oh, you're okay. You met Cameron, really? Kevin from EUC Upgrades was in Portland? Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, I like Kevin. Dan, who lives up in the greater Boston area, yeah. I'm looking forward to the riding season up here. Still cold, still too cold for me. Starting to plan some new routes in the greater Boston area. Cool. Definitely not too cold here. It actually got up, what day was that? I think it was earlier this week. The high was like 92 degrees. It's crazy, right? It's freaking March 9th. Not a fan. Not a fan of that kind of temperature. That's one of the nice things about the new house is both in the master bedroom and the living space, the great room, I guess you would call it. They both have these 3-panel sliders that you can open all the way. Like the track goes onto the outside of the house, so you can actually open them all the way. So you can have these big, huge open air spaces in the house. Which when the weather is nice, that would be awesome to have, because they connect to the lanai, so it's not like you have bugs coming in or anything. I'm looking forward to that. My biggest challenge is how I'm going to make everything work. That's my biggest challenge. Like I have all the 3D printing stuff, which I'm gonna probably wind up having to trim down more, because like this house, I have 3 bedrooms and this office, so it's like a 3-bedroom and a den. This new house is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage. How I'm going to make the garage work, that's another thing I have to figure out. I'm not sure. I don't know. Because when I saw the house last, the garage was just filled with their crap. Like the whole garage was just filled ceiling to floor with boxes. So I don't have a real good feel for what the garage layout is. No, but I'm going to have to figure that out. But then I have to figure out how I'm going to, because I would like to have dishwasher. I would like to have a guest room. I'm thinking about maybe even like getting like a Murphy bed situation in there, so it can be convertible. It can be a guest room when needed, or it could be used for other things when it's not. Because otherwise, I have the need to have an office, a hobby room, and a 3D printing room all kind of combined in one room. So that could be interesting, right? It's gonna take some logistics and some trial and error, I believe. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. So Crunchy Tires Master had 50 batteries. If I baby it, I can get around 40 miles. That's not fun. The Master wants to go fast and drain the battery. Well, the V13 does too. So like if you were satisfied going 20 miles an hour, you might get 70 miles out of a V13. I've heard someone report that they did. That they routinely get 70 miles, but I don't know how you could get 70 miles of range out of a V13 if you're going 30 miles an hour. I don't think that's possible. EUC with Lucifer. Unfortunately, when a rider gets hurt during a group ride, it becomes everyone else's problem as well. True. That is true. I'm going to go grab another buy. Hold on. Oh, it's gonna be weird when I move, guys. It's gonna be weird, but it's gonna be a good kind of weird. I think I had a much more, I don't know, much more worried disposition about it early on in the process. I guess a part of the having less shits to give makes me worry about this less, because I think it'll be good. Crunchy Tire says, Kevin's a cool guy. I loaned him my Nikola for the Portland Friday night ride. Cool. Yeah, I mean, Afiz is awesome. Kevin's cool. Ian's cool. Sweetie Feet Ian. Trace Verde. Well, I'm not looking for a place. I already bought the place. The way it worked was because it's tough. Like if you're going to use your house to help pay for a new house, it can be touchy. So But like with the way the market is, like the odds of you being able to buy a house and make it a contingency deal, like, okay, I'm going to buy your house, but it's contingent on me selling my house. Good luck with someone accepting that offer. It's just not going to happen. You know, the market is still pretty aggressive. So in my situation, what I actually did is I went ahead and I just bought a house and got a conventional mortgage on it, and I basically acted like I don't even have this house. You know, my credit was good enough to be able to do that without a fortune down. So I signed the contract, bought the house. I have financing on it, and then I put my house on the market. And my house was on the market for 4 or 5 days before I got an offer that I accepted. And it worked out well. You know, if my house would have just sat on the market for a long time, that would have been a problem. Luckily, I think there's a lot of good features about where I live and additions that I've done, and I was confident that the house would sell, and it did. So basically, what happens now is I'm going to have this conventional mortgage with a much higher mortgage payment than I would like to have long term. But after 150 days, I can I think they call it recasting the mortgage, where I can apply equity from the sale of the house, and then my payment will get adjusted downward, and I'll owe much, much less on the house that I'm buying. But the house I bought, it's a single family house. It's 2 miles from my work, a little more than 2 miles from my work. I could easily ride EUCs there if I want to. It's like a mile from the largest pickleball facility in our county. So I think I'm going to be really, really happy there. Because right now my commute round trip every day is damn close to 2 hours. So it's going to go from 2 hours of commuting time down to maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So that's a big time savings if you add that up week after week after week. I see all you guys talking about how the weather sucks where you're at. I'm sorry. Moved to Southwest Florida. 43 and gusty rain in Portland. That sounds shitty. Spartacus, 30 degrees and snowing in Minnesota. Yeah. I mean, those of you that don't know, I used to live in Pennsylvania. I used to live in southeastern Pennsylvania, so I had a good amount of experience with snow. I never liked it. I got a good amount of experience with gray skies, cold weather, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to move here, because I got sick of it. I'm constipated. He doesn't give a shit. Yes. Yeah, you can call me Duff. It doesn't really matter. I don't give a shit about that either. Dan says, on the group rides that we plan, helmets are required. I don't want to have to pick up someone's brains off the street. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, if people are interested in going on your rides, you organize that. I think that's legitimate to have whatever standards you want to have. Makes sense. Wilson says, I don't care about carrying. Yeah, that's kind of what happens after a period of time. It's weird, like when you're younger, like when I was younger, let me say up until maybe my early 30s, you kind of don't give a shit about anything, right? All you care about is yourself. You don't really, at least I didn't, think much about the future. I didn't really think about what other people were doing. I didn't think about politics. I didn't think about much of anything. And then as I entered maybe the next, 10 years, 15 years, then that stuff started to concern me more. I'm like, why does this people do this, or why do they act this way, and why do they not do what they say, and just getting pissed off about everything. And I would say probably the last year, because right after the split from Cindy, there was a lot of, oh my God, there's a lot of negative. Everything was negative. Everything. But I've kind of taken a, who gives a shit kind of attitude. I'm kind of concerned with my little sphere of influence, my little sphere of reality, and I'm going to do the best to be happy in that little ball of reality. And that's what my goal is. I can't worry about what other people do because I can't control what other people do. I can only control what I do, right? Deep. Trace says a Murphy bed is a good idea. Yeah, I have no idea what a Murphy bed costs. but I think it might be a good idea. The neighbors that used to live next door to me, they used to have a Murphy bed in their one room, and it was nice because when it's flipped up, like on either side, there's like a shelf unit, so you could like put stuff there. But then it was easy to flip it up. Dan says a 2-mile commute. I'm jealous. Yeah, it's gonna be great, Dan. It really is. I'm once I get in that position, I'll be like, why didn't I do this sooner? I mean, I actually was considering doing that right after Cindy and I split, because I didn't want to see everything, and there was so many like visual triggers around the house. I was really considering, just selling it and moving and starting over somewhere else, and I didn't. Where did that come from? Because I felt guilty about the chickens. I didn't want to uproot the chickens. I didn't want the chickens to have to be rehomed to some place unfamiliar. And a lot of people say, well, that's freaking ridiculous, but it's the truth. But since Kathy, my last chicken, died probably 5 months ago at this point, that restriction has been lifted, and lo and behold, I find myself where I am now, which is a good spot. It's a good spot. Wilson's ready to get out of the hibernation phase. Yeah, when I was in Pennsylvania, I think I legitimately had seasonal, what do you call it? Seasonal depression disorder, SDD, or seasonal affect depression, something like that. Yeah, it was called SAD. That was the acronym for it, I think. Yeah, I used to hate it. Pennsylvania winters, they don't get tons and tons and tons of snow, but it seemed like every day almost was gray, high 30s and raining, or if you're lucky, a little bit colder and ice. It was just freaking miserable. And actually, again, I got really lucky because the only reason I found out about this area was like I got sent down here to do some work for a bank that we used to service when I was a network technician up in Pennsylvania. Got sent down here to Naples, and it was winter, and I couldn't believe, like, every morning I would wake up in the hotel and I would look out and it'd be bright blue skies. It was, in the 70s every day. I'm like, what is this? This exists. I remember being blown away. I could not believe how beautiful it was. And shortly after I got married to Allison, we made the jump, moved here in 2000, August of 2000, and never have regretted it. Never had any desire to go back to Pennsylvania other than to visit people briefly, family. Growing old and having fun. I need to get a Murphy bed sponsorship. Yeah. Well, it's so funny. Like, if you look at my channel, the last 5 years, it's overwhelmingly EUC related. But I do these like reviews of random things. Like I got mats for my Tesla. Someone, because I have some Tesla videos that have a lot of views. And I got reached out to by a company that makes custom floor mats for Teslas. They sent me mats for free to test. They just sent me something else for my Tesla that I just got today to test for free. I got a my percussion massager was sent to me for free. Basically, what happens is, however they find it, they reach out to me and they say, "Hey, would you like to test and do a video on our product? And you get to keep the product." I'm like, "Sure, why not?" And usually, what a lot of these companies, when I do the review after I post it, they want me to also post it to Amazon as like a video review on Amazon. So I guess they can use it as a resource on Amazon to help them sell more stuff. So yeah, I've done that. I've done that with the vacuum. I've done that with the percussion massager. I'm trying to think what else I've gotten. But yeah, hey, if you want to send me free stuff, sure, I'll review it. It's not a big deal. Murphy beds, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be great. I'll review it for them too. Sparkus asks, how far from Dunkin'? There's a Dunkin' Donuts right near my office. So the Dunkin's about the same distance, 2 miles. So it's actually would technically be closer than the one that I have here. Because the one that I have here, the close one is about 3 miles. Thank you, Larry. I knew you would save me. Seasonal affect disorder. That is what I was feeling in Pennsylvania. EUC with Lucifer, EUC Army Show, sponsored by Big Bob's Murphy Beds and Dunkin' Donuts. Those of you that are members, those of you that are channel members, you may notice, like when you make a comment, or even if you commented in the live stream, I have changed some of the emoticons. You know, like I had the extreme, I had the no skill zombie rider one, and then I had some other random ones. I swapped them out. Let's see, but one of those new emoticons is a Dunkin' Donuts logo, so you can now post a Dunkin' Donuts emoticon to your comments or chat in the live stream if you want to. Larry says, several people in my Kung Fu class drop out after the clocks fall back and it's dark. Next week, they'll start to return. Why is that? They're scared of the dark, or what? It just feels too late to them? Interesting. Trace Verdes likes it here in Arkansas. Well, you definitely don't get much snow in Arkansas. You can probably get some ice, but I don't think you'll get much snow in Arkansas. Good. Dan says he understands about the chickens. Yeah. Well, your first visit, Dan. I remember you brought the melons for the chickens, and I had a bunch more chickens in. Chickens always like watermelon. They like blueberries. Yeah, they like a lot of stuff. Strawberries. Cameron misses the sun. It does. It is nice here. The one thing that I always appreciate, and I don't think about it enough. I'm probably not as appreciative as I should be. But like when I was in Pennsylvania, like when I would go on vacation somewhere, if it was the beach or wherever I was going, or if I went on a road trip from Pennsylvania, like when the vacation was over, I remember like getting depressed. I'm like, I gotta go back to frickin' Pennsylvania, man. Sucks there. Now, if I go somewhere, I don't have that anymore. Like if I go on a cruise, if I go anywhere, when I went out to California, California was cool, but I knew I was coming back to Florida, and Florida, I like the environment in Florida. I like not having to deal with shitty weather most of the time. So that was a nice change and benefit from relocating from Pennsylvania to Florida. I no longer dreaded coming home. Trace Verde, Florida is so humid. Yes, absolutely. You have 6-month-long summers, if not longer. 90 degrees and 90 degrees humidity, or 90% humidity is a pretty normal thing. Thankfully, air conditioning is prevalent, but yeah, that is true. It's very, very humid in Florida. And like if you live in Central Florida, like Orlando area, it's even worse because you don't have as much breeze from the ocean. Kurt Dresner, shortening your commute is one of the best things you can do to increase your happiness in a lasting way. I'm about to find out. It's weird because the people that live close, like when I tell them where I live, they're like, "Oh my God, how do you go so far?" Blah blah blah. Now, like to them, it's like I live on the other side of the state. To me, I've done this so long now. It's almost like I put my brain into autopilot mode. Okay, get in the car, and 45 minutes to an hour later, I'll be there. It doesn't faze me. It doesn't feel that far. But when that is no longer my reality, I think it's gonna be dramatic. It's gonna be amazing. I mean, that's why I'm doing it. I'm trying to increase the quality of my life. Oh, and also like one of the things I've always complained about around here is like the yard work. Oh, I gotta mow the grass. Almost 3 acres of land. Got to mow the grass. I got to weed whack. Blah blah blah. I got to trim trees. Blah 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 blah. Consumed hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of my time over the last 20 years. One of the things I'm doing at the new house is I'm paying a lawn service. There's some guy that does other houses in that area. I said, okay, well, how much would it cost me to have you do the grass and trim the hedges and just take care of the outside? $160 a month. I'm like, sold. It's worth $160 a month for me not to ever have to worry about that shit again, believe me. So yeah, I'm going to have a lawn service at my new house as well. So, shorter commute, minimal yard work. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Yep. A lot of changes. Oh, there's Dale. Hey, what's up, buddy? I told people you're probably busy having unvaccinated sex with somebody because that's your new thing. Trace Verde went to Pensacola as a kid, and I was like, wow, it's hard to breathe. Well, you think Pensacola was bad, you should try Southwest Florida. It's even worse. Now, one downside to living here, I just had the stitches removed last week from my latest spot of skin cancer. The further south you go, the more intense the sun is. So yeah, skin cancer, if you have a tendency for it, Florida is not going to be great for that. Kurt says, what do I do for a living? I am the IT director for the county tax collector down here. I've been doing it ever since I moved to Florida. I have less than 7 years to go before I can retire. The full retirement. I mean, I can retire whenever, but if I want to legitimately be able to retire and live comfortably, less than 7 years. So I'm just going to try to stay as healthy as I can and get to the finish line, and then really enjoy life even more so than now. But I'm really in a good position because there's lots of IT jobs because I had IT jobs in the past that were very stressful, on call, getting bothered all the time, dealing with a lot of BS. In my position now, it's much, much less than that. It's a good situation. Normal hours, I work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, but rarely have to work after hours or weekends. So again, another spot where I am fortunate, and I should appreciate, my good fortune in a lot of different areas in my life. Spartacus. Oh yeah, I did forget those 2 hoverboards. Yeah, remember when I had the hoverboards that died? Like one died, and then they were very apologetic and like, oh, we'll send you a brand new hoverboard. I pulled it out of the box, and that thing was what's it called? A gyroar, right? A gyroar. The one they sent me was dead as well. So that was fantastic. And when I sent that one back, they said, oh yeah, okay, well we're going to fix it, and we'll eventually get you another one. And never heard from them again. And that's fine because those boards sucked. They sucked. I mean, it seemed okay, I guess, but obviously they had some quality control issues going on there. Simon, is that okay? Well, let me look on the. I can't see what the emojis look like in the StreamYard comments, but that looks like that might be a DD one. Let me look here. If I load the live stream and I open it and I kill the sound, there we go. Okay, I see people. Oh, yep. Okay, Simon did find the DD logo. There you go. And I have a black and white version of the No Skill Zombie Rider emoji as well. And oh yeah, and another just a weird looking one. I just got a message from Black Cobra. Trace Verde, keeps to yourself mostly. Okay, well, that's not a bad thing. I do too, mostly. Oh, so Larry says the reason that those people in his class don't show up during dark is because of seasonal affective disorder. They get depressed and lodgy when it's dark during class and don't show up. Really? Is lodgy like lethargic? When it's light, they have more energy to do kung fu. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. I guess I never would have thought about that connection, but you would know. Wilson says, cruise, huh? Star Trek The Crew 2024 starting from Cape Canaveral. Oh, really? Oh, that would be interesting. I like Star Trek. I like sci-fi. Yeah. Well, I haven't gone on a cruise in 3 years. 4 years? I mean, yeah, three years and change. I liked it. Yeah, I would do another one. I just need to figure out who I would want to go on one with. Not by myself though. Although Larry does talk about singles cruises, but I just don't think that would be my jam. Larry says Los Angeles has incredible weather. Yeah, well, normally yes. Yeah, I mean, overall, yeah, Los Angeles weather I think is better than Florida because it's cooler and it's not as horribly humid here. Lately, they've been having some pretty shitty weather, which is highly unusual. But yeah, I think LA has better weather. But the other things about California, I'll stay in Florida. I think too many taxes, too much, everything's too expensive, too much Big Brother going on. I think. Trace Verde, I guess you're speaking about snow that you got a foot altogether this winter. That's not that bad. Not that bad. No, don't go saying that, Dale. That's what she said. Come on. We had that discussion the last live stream. I can't remember the subscriber's name, but yeah, he doesn't like when I say that's what she said. And I haven't sent it in a video since, actually. But Garrett, oh, you're in Pennsylvania? Where in Pennsylvania, Garrett? Where are you at? I don't know if you heard me mention, but I'm from Southeast Pennsylvania originally. You've ridden in PA every week since October, nary a frostbite. Yeah. I mean, the coldest weather I've ridden in is probably in the upper 40s. It sucked, man. It sucked. Yeah, I don't have winter gear here, obviously. So no, my feet was frozen. My hands were frozen. It was miserable. But I saw a video on Facebook today. There's someone, I think he was riding a Sherman S, seated, and I can't remember if it was a 2 or 3 lane road. Might have been a 2 lane road. I mean, 2 lanes on one side. It was maybe 2 lanes on. It was a divided highway, maybe. He was riding a Sherman S in snow, and the road had snow on it. Like there was a kind of clear section in the middle, but it was snow. He was riding a Sherman S down the middle of the road, and another driver was filming him. Again, old Sean would have had more to say about that. New Sean just says, if he dies, he dies. Isn't that what Dolph Lundgren said? Drago, if he dies, he dies. It's kind of my attitude. I hope he doesn't, but if he does, then it's his deal. Trace says, I live on a small mountain, so sometimes when it snows, I got to use cables to get home if I have to go out. Cables. What do you mean cables? You mean like chains on your tires? Tire chains? Dale says, gotta love not having health problems. Yes. How far? I'm about 5 minutes behind in chat. Okay. And Dale says, in Australia, we call melanoma freckles. Okay. Well, my skin cancer hasn't been melanoma. Melanoma is very serious. Melanoma, you don't F around with. Melanoma can kill you. I actually know a couple people personally that have died from melanoma because it can metastasize and it can just ruin you. All my skin cancer has been, almost all of it has been basal cell skin cancer, which is a minor skin cancer. And then I think I have 1 or 2 spots that were squamous cell, which is a little more serious, but still not horrible. But the downside is when you have all these repeated incidents of minor skin cancer, it puts you at more risk for a melanoma. But so far so good. But melanoma can be very, very dangerous. Wilson says, sounds like a good job you have. Be happy and stay happy. That's easier said than done, Wilson. I wish I could say that I'm the kind of person that walks around, burping sunshine and farting rainbows. But then no, that isn't my general disposition. Although that is a goal of mine. I'm always trying to work towards that and trying to be more positive, more happy, more appreciative of what I have, and less getting. I should say, actually, I'm trying to think less. That's really the key to me to being more happy. It's just don't overanalyze things. Just enjoy whatever you're doing, and be happy with that. I don't know. Again, easier said than done, but that is a goal. Oh, okay. Dale meant to say freckles. Okay, gotcha. And everything's okay with him. Yeah, no, everything's okay. But that being said, I've been cut into probably 12 to 15 times, I would imagine. I've had spots cut out all over the place. Neck, back, head, face, in front of the ears, top of the arm, bunch of them. And when I was younger, I used to, wanted to get tan like everybody else. And then I had all those years playing volleyball. And, a lot of times when I was playing volleyball, especially beach volleyball, I was not wearing a shirt. So that's not ideal. Cameron, anyone here getting a float wheel? Really excited to review mine. Tony on the float wheel YouTube channel has amazing behind the scenes float wheel. What's the float wheel? Float wheel. Hold on. I'm loading floatwheel.com. Okay, I did see this. Someone posted this in the One Reel group. Yeah, I remember looking at the specs of it. The specs seem impressive. It's basically a one wheel knockoff. Yeah, the specs are impressive. The price is significantly better than a GT Pro. Shipping date February 2023. Really? Are they actually going to deliver that? I think the thing that I thought was a real turnoff for this is the only way you could pay for it was cryptocurrency. Is that still the case? I thought that was a little weird. That kind of ended my interest in it. Not that I need it. I mean, my GT, my one wheel GT is plenty for me, which I have not had a chance to ride. That's another thing. I could ride my GT to work realistically, because there's a way to get to work down a major roadway that's 3 lanes each side, 6-lane road, which has lots of traffic. But there's also a slightly longer back way where I can go back roads the whole way to my office, probably half mile longer. That'd be perfect for the one wheel. So, yeah. But I don't know, Cameron, I don't know anyone getting a float wheel. So, and can you confirm, is it still that you have to pay with crypto? Let's see, buy it now. Or I should actually, here, let me share this. Close that. Let me share the screen on my window. This one, share it. So this is the float wheel. Yeah, it's very, very similar. I think the only one I would want is the Advanced Pro. So like it's a $650 deposit, if I'm not mistaken, right? The full price is $1,800. Is $600. So that's a big deposit. And let's see. I'm not going to buy it. Where does it talk about the payment? Where did I see that? Or maybe I just read that somewhere that you could only pay for it with crypto. It was kind of a little bit of a red flag for me. We'll remove that. So yeah, if you want to confirm that, Cameron, because I do have some crypto, but not. I don't know. That was a little bit of a head scratcher. Dale's only on your second beer. Good, man. I see Simon is testing out all the new emojis. Larry says Logi is similar to jet lag, just drowsy and out of it. Okay. I've never heard that word then. Hey, Dale, did you get your T4 yet from the president of Gotway? I haven't heard anything else about that. I'm sure I would have saw it on Facebook if you did. What is the status of that, or has he gone quiet? Larry says there are theme cruises that are cool too. There's a pro wrestling cruise I like to go on. Really? Oh wow. Yeah, I'm sure it would be entertaining. Simon says, why work when trolling will get you wheels for free? Correct. That's ironic that you just mentioned that. Bale says, my mate paid for his whole family to go on the KISS cruise and then couldn't get the visa to get into the USA. Well, I don't know, Dale. That sounds like bad planning. You probably want to make sure you can get there before you pay for a cruise. Did he get a refund or something, a credit, or that would suck? Yeah, that would really suck. Oof. EUC for Lucifer, it's really wet. That's what he said. Okay. Don't offend. Come on, we don't want to offend. Pinoy Triathlon. Do you have a wheel with dead battery and any idea how it died? No, not a dead battery. No, I've never owned a wheel enough to have a totally dead battery. I have my when I had a KingSong 18L that had a bad battery pack in it where a couple cells were bad and it wouldn't charge to the full voltage. Back then it was an 84 volt wheel. But I never had a dead one. I mean, batteries can die from repeated charge cycles. They can die from having a problem in the pack, like if one of the nickel strips becomes loose. They can die from the cell itself going bad, where like it can swell potentially, which is very dangerous. There's lots of things that can cause a dead battery. Some of them not a big deal. Some of them a very big deal. Okay, so I asked Garrett earlier where in Pennsylvania he's from. Northwest Pennsylvania. Interesting. My dad used to live in Marionville. I don't know if you know where Marionville is. It's a very small, basically like I don't know. It's a nothing town, basically. But it's like 2 hours north of Pittsburgh. He used to live in Marionville. So I do have some experience out there. And you mentioned how the coldest I went out was high single digits. I remember I visited my dad and my stepmom several years back, and there was days where the temperature was 8 or 9 degrees. Yeah. And I remember going outside in that, and it was, ooh, man, it just stung. It was brutal. But it's funny, like when you live in Florida, like it's kind of interesting to be exposed to that kind of severe cold and snow and stuff for very short periods of time. It's kind of fun, but it becomes unfun very quickly. So it's fun to see once in a while. I would never want to live in that environment permanently anymore. Trace has an Elantra. You want a 4-wheel drive truck, but it doesn't seem to be in the car. So, well, yeah, 4-wheel drive truck. Well, depends if you get new or used, but yeah, 4-wheel drive truck's probably expensive. I never had a 4-wheel drive truck, actually. I have a 2016 Tacoma, but it's just 2-wheel drive. Tres Verde says, let life be and it will let you be. Okay, that's deep. I probably saw that in one of my Facebook motivational posters that I get 1,000 of a day. It's funny, like at some point I must have liked something. You know, you see like these pictures with motivational statements on them once in a while, and at one point I must have clicked one, like maybe a friend posted it, and like I clicked like, oh yeah, I agree, and that like became a snowball. Now my feed has like dozens and dozens and dozens of these motivational images and sayings in it every day. So it's fine, you know, you can't be too motivated, right? Crunchy Tire says, commuting on EUC wasn't fun for me. Like a car, became getting there as fast as possible rather than enjoying the experience. Maybe a personal issue. Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I don't ever see myself doing it exclusively. Like usually, every day I bring my gym bag, I pack my lunch, so I'd have to put that all in the gym bag. And like I mentioned earlier, I've been playing a lot of pickleball at lunch, so I would need to be able to do that as well. Good thing is if I take the Tesla, I mean, I would be commuting much less. My typical commute in the Tesla, I'm usually commuting like 1,100 miles a month. Now it will be way, 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 way less. So I'll be putting less miles on the Tesla as well. So that's good. QQ2516477742. Interesting name. Should I buy the V13 from E-Wheels or Alien Rides? Well, Alien Rides has a 2-year warranty, so that is a plus for Alien Rides. There's primarily good feedback on both of those dealers from a service perspective. So I don't know. Where do you live? E-Wheels has been in the business way longer than Alien Rides, but Alien Rides has been doing a good job. Leo, hey Leo, it's funny I mentioned you earlier. I'm like, hey, I wonder if Leo's going to pop in because he's in every live stream somehow. So your streak continues. This will be the last live stream you ever see here, though, Leo. From now on, the next live stream you see, and I don't know when it'll be because it's going to probably take me several weeks to get settled at the new place. But the next live stream will be at my new home. It'll be interesting to see how that all works out. Cameron says, okay, so that float wheel is crypto. So because they're taking payment in crypto, that insulates them from getting sued by Future Motion? Really? Interesting. But I think it definitely limits the people that they're going to get sales from. But yeah, interesting. Dale's on a train. Got a shitty connection. Catch you next time. All right, Dale. I'll see you later. Oh, so Garrett is familiar with Marionville. Okay, there you go. Very small town, very old town. When I used to go there, I used to joke that it felt like it was like the town was in like a time machine from the 60s or the 70s. Like nothing has really changed. Most of the construction is old. There's a lot of old like hunting cabins there and stuff. There used to be some maple trees there, like they used to tap the trees for maple syrup. Again, it was fun to experience in short periods. I would not ever want to live there. And my dad had this big property, big fenced-in property with like 20 sheep and a llama. It's ridiculous. My dad makes weird decisions. And he's 70. My dad is 76, and you know. He since has moved from Marionville to eastern Pennsylvania, but he brought with him his sheep. So he still has all these sheep, a big chunk of land. It's just, he's like, he has the opposite view of what I do as far as what I want to do when I get older. I don't want to have lots of land to maintain. I don't want to have to maintain a big farm of animals. That is not my idea of what retirement would be for me. I guess for him, I don't know, because he likes it in some ways, but in other ways, I think it kind of sucks for him too. So I don't know if he had to do it all over again, if he would do it the same way. I just don't know. Abbott the Wabbit says snow sports makes winter bearable. Yeah, like what? What snow sport do you like? Skiing? Snowboarding? I've never snowboarded. I skied like once when I was a younger person. It wasn't a good experience. Leo says, could miss this one. No, you shouldn't miss any, Leo. You should not miss any live streams. Simon says, I've been commuting on my wheel every day for 3 years. It's always awesome, even in the middle of winter. I often choose a longer route home because it's just so enjoyable. Good, man. How far is your commute, Simon? Oh, Hate Mail's here, another Australian subscriber. Hi, buddy. Welcome. Always get a lot of Australians. Pinoy Triathlon. Any thoughts on the EX30? I talked about this earlier because supposedly E-Wheels was going to get me the EX30 demo that was up in New York City. So my hope is that I send the V13 to wherever it's going to go and I get the EX30 to test. EX30, by all accounts, has been a great wheel. Everyone that I've seen that has had one has loved it. Really, the biggest negative was, what the heck is that? Marty's EX30 had a bad battery pack. So that was really the most negative thing I saw. Sean shot a brief video of him going down some stairs. I think it was just more of had to do with the layout of these stairs, but he was going downstairs and hit the kickstand was taking a chunk out of the stairs as he went down the stairs. But for the most part, everyone seems to love the EX30. They've done things to make the wheel more robust and durable than the Master. The full metal cage that's up top, the metal battery box. By all accounts, the suspension feels much better than the Master. And you have the C40 motor, which is super fast. It's stable at speed. The wheels feel well balanced. So yeah, everything sounds good about the EX30. That being said, I have a Sherman S that I'm very happy with. So, and to me, an EX30 and a Sherman S are in the same kind of category. And I don't need to be going, 45, 50 miles an hour. So I'm good with what I have, but the EX30 sounds like a good wheel. I know Marty's getting one. I think the one he has now is somebody else's. I think he got it from the guy out in California that's getting the wheels cheaply for people. But I don't think that's actually his wheel. Trace says, like the Beatles, let it be. The more you judge, the more you compare yourself to things. That's true. One of my big downfalls, did I talk about this on the last live stream? I've taken some personality tests. I took one called an enneagram test, where basically they ask you a whole bunch of questions and then you answer the things in a degree, like there's a range of like five circles you can pick from strongly agree to strongly disagree, and you can pick anywhere in the middle. Took that, and it's interesting when I got the results and when it told me my personality type, which I think was type 2, and it described the various things in there that this type of personality does and thinks and acts. Super, super accurate, almost to a scary degree. But I definitely have been one of my issues that's always been a thing is I tend to, when I analyze a situation or analyze someone's behavior, I think about, I compare it to what I would do in that situation. Like if I wouldn't have a problem with something, or if I'm willing to do something and someone else is not, it can cause me to think negatively. And one of the challenges has been to shift that mindset where you can't put your beliefs onto somebody else, which I always knew, but again, through self-examination and thought, you think about things, or you should. And that's one of the things that I've thought about, and it's one of the things I'm trying to not do as much. Like everything, easier said than done, but awareness is the first step, right? When you're aware that you're doing something that you want to change, that is the first step to changing it. Garrett talking about Marionville, still the same place. Yeah, I don't think that place is going to ever change. Well, I think, it's in danger of basically becoming a ghost town, because, the vast majority of the people that live there are just older than dirt. They don't ever want to live. They don't want to move because they're old. But I don't think there's a lot of young people coming in to replace them. So that, I don't know. It could be a dead town eventually. Larry talking about alien rides versus e-wheels. I've purchased from both and feel e-wheels had more responsive customer service. Okay. Like I said, I've only had the experience of buying the T4 from Alien Rides, and my experience with them has been good. But I've had many years of experience with Jason and E-Wheels, and they've built a very solid reputation, not only with me but with most of the community. Larry says, Alien Rides is okay, but somehow I felt that they wanted me to do more testing and double checking on my wheel before warranty service and e-wheels, who just took care of it. Okay. Which like which situation did you have to have them do something for you, Larry? If you told me about something you needed alien rights to service for you, I don't remember what it is or what it was. So Simon's commute, 30 kilometer round trip commute. Okay. Not that bad. My commute will be like a 10K round trip. Larry says people in LA love the EX30. That said, I really love my Shermanettes and have no regrets. Yeah, I have no regrets either. But yeah, I know Dawn loves it. Somehow Dawn has an EX30. I'm not quite sure. I almost got the impression, I haven't asked her, I guess I should, if that wheel was given to her by Gotway or Begode. I kind of got that impression, but I don't know. I'll try to find out. Crunchy Tire, again, talking about alien rides versus e-wheels. My experience as well, they also asked me to upload a video showing my problem before supporting me. It took over 20 emails before my board shipped. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, I can understand wanting to be thorough, but there's a line. You want to make sure that you're doing something for the customer that actually addresses the issue, but you don't want to, make it overly cumbersome. So I understand that would be frustrating. Cameron says the EX30 is an absolute beast. I was actually shaking after a few good pulls. Wow. Okay. Well, I've heard the acceleration is pretty crazy. And Larry talking about how the shell can scrape stuff because it's just low. Juts out from the back. Well, I remember when when Jack was reviewing EX30 and he went up, he was doing a hill climb, and I guess the battery box was actually hitting it was a very steep hill, but the battery box was actually hitting the ground, I believe. So, but to me, the EX30, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's an off-road wheel. I'm sure you can go off-road, but I think that it's just going to be a really, really good, fast racing / street wheel. Growing old and having fun. Is your new house in a storm surge area? Well, that is a change. I do have to carry flood insurance at this new house. It is in a flood zone. That being said, with Hurricane Ian that we had last year, that resulted in the worst storm surge that this area has ever seen, it did not get flooded. So I think where it's located, it'll be fine. But I do have to carry flood insurance because it is technically in a flood zone, a FEMA flood zone. So you have to carry homeowners insurance and separate flood insurance. So yeah, my cost of living, until I get the equity applied to the mortgage, it's going to be dramatically higher for like the next 6 months or so. I mean, it's fine. I'll be fine, but it's going to be my monthly bundle is going to be a lot more than what I've been accustomed to. Wilson says she posted somewhere that she bought it. I don't know about that, Wilson. Cybervolt Wilson. I'll ask. Growing gold and having fun. Dawn's rich. Okay. Do you know that as a fact? Or is that just an assumption? You know what they say about assumptions. They're making an ass out of you and me. So Larry says, the hero came from Alien Rise. I remember that. He had some issues with the shock and had to do videos and testing before they sent me a replacement pump. I don't know. If you told me that, Larry, I don't remember that. I did not know that. Okay. The pump they sent you didn't work. More videos until I wound up buying my own third-party pump, which fixed the issue. Yeah, I bought a high-pressure pump. Someone else recommended it to me. It's packed in a box somewhere. I don't know where it actually is right now. It's probably in a box that is actually in the old chicken coop. Right now, the chicken coop has two of my benches. I had 3 benches in the hobby room. 2 of them are in the chicken coop, and then I have boxes that have 3D printers in them, electric unicycle shit in them, all kinds of other shit in them. That's where they are right now. That's where they've been for over a month, in the old chicken coop. Trace says, I'm the type of person that looks for wisdom and wisdom givers. Yeah. I look for wisdom, and I think, I don't know, sometimes I don't know that I would say that I'm wise, that's for sure, but I don't know. I have thoughts. Hey, Larry, I know you're a blog reader. You're going to notice that the blog looks different now. I'll talk about it more in the blog entry tomorrow, why that is. But for the first time in many, many, many years, probably over a decade, the blog is going to look different to people. Because I'll explain it tomorrow. But those of you that don't know, I've done a blog where I post 4 to 5 times a week. I would say is typical. And it's just random things, just stuff about my life, thoughts about whatever. But I've had it going since late 2002. So it's been over 20 years of running a blog. Let's see, is it working? Okay, it is working. Yeah, the theme is different, Larry. It's going to definitely look different to you. But it does work. It does appear to work. But I will go into detail. I mean, it looks more modern. The theme I had was very old and not being updated, which caused some problems. But I will discuss it in tomorrow's blog. So, and if you guys are interested in checking out, it's just blog.duff.net. That is my blog. Roy Holly says, Dawn won an M10-4 and asked if she could just have the credit for that toward the EX30. How did she win an M10-4? But an M10-4 costs a lot less than an EX30, right? I wonder if she sold some of her other wheels, maybe. Because I mean, she has 2 Masters, and I think she had she has a Sherman Max, and not the EX30. So maybe she's selling. I think she did mention she's selling her Sherman Max. Oh, Roger's here. Dawn won a $T sign. A T, is that a 4? Okay. Dawn won a T4 and paid the good difference to get the EX30. How did she win it, Roger? And welcome, Roger. Roger, one of the most knowledgeable EUC enthusiasts that I know, and one of the best riders that I've ever seen in person, for sure. So you all should feel very fortunate that Roger is here. I thought Roger, and I commented on that video, I thought it was very interesting, your take on the God mod. Roger did a video on the God mod. You've heard lots of people talking about the God mod. Kevin from EUC Upgrades did a video on the God mod, and then he made his own God mod variant using supercapacitors. And with his supercapacitor God mod, it definitely provided power for a longer period of time to the Ninebot 1S. Well, actually, he hooked it up to a Master as well, I guess, didn't he? And he demonstrated that even with the battery, once he pulled the battery pack, the wheels stayed in balance for like 20 seconds. But lots of people commented that that's a much different test than riding it, where the wheel is putting out tremendously more power, or requires a lot more power. But the whole and Roger, correct me if I'm wrong, because it seemed like when you were testing it, you were commenting that the wheel didn't feel any different to you. Like, I don't know if you expected it to feel stronger, maybe, because I guess some people thought that it felt stronger. My understanding of what the God mod's supposed to do is to minimize voltage sag. Like if someone leans on it hard from a standstill, where the wheel's pulling like max amps, that the voltage sag there, supposedly what I understood was a God mod was supposed to help in that situation, to momentarily keep the voltage up so it doesn't sag, and then if if it sags too far, then the wheel could cut out. That was my understanding of what the God mod prevented. But it seemed like you thought that it would also give like a performance enhancement. So I don't know. Feel free to expand on that if you want to. Growing old and having fun. Maybe she sold one of the horses. I doubt that. She loves her horses. I don't think she would do that. Trace Verde. I always thought it was weird that you could even build in an area of obvious destruction. Oh, like here? Yeah, it's funny. Like where I live in an area called Golden Gate Estates. And I think it was back in the 50s or 60s. The area that I live in was a combination of just like farmland and like kind of like swampy land. And what happened was, I don't know why this happened, but the Army Corps of Engineers, there was a determination that they wanted to make a larger area around here habitable. So what they did is the Army Corps of Engineers came in and they dug a series of canals to drain the land, to make it drier, so you could have more people live in this land. And that's like, if you ever look at an overhead of my area, it's just a bunch of right angles with canals that eventually lead out to the Gulf, and that is how they drained this area to make it capable to build on. In addition to that, all the houses out here, they're built on mounds. Like when my house was built, there's a big pit in the back of the house, in the back of the land, that originally was not there. And what they do is they actually scoop out a whole bunch of sandy soil, and they make a big mound, and they compact it, and they build your house in that mound. So my house is actually, I don't know, is it 6 feet off? It might be 6 feet higher than the surrounding area. I would say 4 to 6 feet. I've never measured it, but and that again, that is just to make sure that there is no situation where the house itself could flood out. If this house would flood out, basically the world is over, more or less. So, but yeah, you can tell that this used to be underwater. Like there, when I would be digging in the land, there's I could dig up and I could get seashells. Like there's shells that you can pull up from the soil, because it was underwater at one point. Brian Gonzalez is here. Hey, buddy. What's up? Another channel member. Pinoy Triathlon. Is there any non-suspension wheel worth going back to? Well, I would say that depends on who you ask. Some people don't care about the benefits of suspension. Some people, I know that there's some riders up in New York City that flat out say they don't like suspension wheels. Like Tashawn. Doesn't like suspension wheels, unless he's changed his mind. Chris Yim, he used to say that he did not like suspension wheels either. So it depends who you ask. For me, suspension wheels, excuse me, make my riding experience so much better. I'll never buy a wheel that is not suspension anymore. So. But there's tons of great non-suspension wheels. I mean, the Sherman. How many Shermans are out there? It's a great wheel. If you're not going to be doing a lot of bumpy riding, if you're not going to be doing a lot of trail riding, although you can ride a Sherman on the trails, there's wheels that lots of people will be fine with that aren't suspension. But for me, I would not buy anything but a suspension wheel anymore. Brian, on a bus from airport, landed here in San Francisco. Crazy time on planes these days. Oh yeah, what, do you have like a delay or a cancellation or something? I haven't been on a plane since they went to California. Larry really loves my blog. Haven't checked it today, but look forward to it. Thanks. Well, actually, today's entry kind of got wiped out. And it was a nothing entry, so don't worry about it. It was just very stupid. I didn't have much to talk about, but it was a side effect of the changes I had to make. So I'll lay it all out tomorrow. Brian loves his non-suspension KingSong 18XL. Yeah, I mean, and for me, I mean, for a lot of the riding I do, suspension isn't a killer, like not having suspension, because I at least currently I ride in a lot of flat roads, and there's not, the roads down here are generally in good shape, unlike Pennsylvania. There's not lots of potholes and stuff. But still, for me, I would always have a suspension wheel. The only wheels I have that aren't suspension now is I have the M10-4, and I have the or M10-3, sorry, M10-3, and the Inmotion V10F. All my other wheels are suspension. Roger says Apple Val. Oh, okay. I somehow I missed that, Roger. I didn't know that she won a T4. Was it a drawing, or was it like something that was given to the winners, or how did that work? I don't know. MeUC on my EUC. How does it feel to pack up and be moving into a space that is yours alone? Well, to be quite honest, I haven't done a lot of active packing because a lot of my stuff was already packed from doing the preparation for painting the interior of the house. But like tonight, tonight was trash night, and I went through and I just been throwing stuff. Like I went through the pantry because I have very limited pantry space at this new place, and that's one of the things I'm hoping to correct. There's minor renovations I want to do to this place, but there's a lot of pantry space. So I'm just looking at stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I haven't used this in 6 months. I just threw a whole bunch of shit out. And that's a process I've been doing again and again and again in different areas, where I'm just picking up stuff that I haven't used. And if I haven't used it and I don't see any legitimate reason that I would be using it in the near future, I just toss it. But it will be interesting going into a space that, like you said, is just mine. This house, I built this house with my ex-wife, and we were together. We built this house. We moved into this house in the summer of 2001. I was with her until 2012. And then Cindy and I were here for, 8.5 years. So, it was always a joint effort. There was always, two people doing things here. This house that I'm moving into, it's my deal. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And of course I will share my feelings about it, especially if you read the blog.duff.net. What the Trace Verde? What do you think about those small EUCs? What are you talking about? The M10-3, M10-3, M10-4? I love my M10-3. That being said, I haven't ridden it in months, but I love it. It's the most maneuverable wheel I own. I can do things on the M10-3 that I cannot do on other wheels. I am many factors better at riding the M10-3 backwards than any other wheel that I own, just because it's so maneuverable and it's so easy. Center of gravity is so low. It's so easy to recover. I like the small ECs. I just haven't had the time to embrace them like I do. MeUC, my EUC. It's snowing heavy here in Northern Cali, really. Yeah, the weather out in California has been crazy. Trace Verde, like the small wheels. I don't know. Are you talking smaller than what I'm talking about? Are you talking about a 14D? What are you talking about? Be good, Crash Test Dummy. Dawn is lucky to be alive. She was hit head on while riding her R1 by a spun out Honda Civic back in 2006. Oh, didn't I? I think I saw. I don't know if she sent it to me. I saw some video about her. Because she was real big. I think she still is, interested in racing bikes and stuff. But yeah. So referring to her, he said, Bigo Crash Test Dummy says she was hit head on, and she also crashed into a pit wall during a race, breaking 15 bones. Yes. Yeah, Dawn is very unique. She definitely has a need for speed. MeUC, my EUC, definitely not impressed by the God mod, huh? The God mod is so meh that I thought it was a parody. Yeah, it definitely does not. It definitely does not seem to be everything that a lot of people said it was. Roger's just here for Larry. People said the God mod made the wheel feel stronger. The science didn't back it up. I wanted to try it. Okay. So people. So what? Lots of people said that. So do you think, Roger, what I said makes sense? Like or do you think it's possible what the scenario that I described makes any sense? That having those capacitors in line somewhat rounds the edge of voltage sag, that it could prevent severe voltage sag from causing a cutout? Because that was my feeling about it. I didn't really think that it would make the wheel feel stronger. But tell me what you think. I know from your video you said you didn't feel a difference. But that was a really good video too, Roger. Like I said, like when it comes to anything technical with a wheel, I don't know that there's anyone that I would trust opinion-wise more than you. I certainly trust you more than Marty, that's for sure. Jeez. Brian says the last stream from EUC Army headquarters needs some likes. Oh yeah, I haven't looked how many people have liked this, and probably I see. I don't talk about that much. I should. I don't. I forget. Let me look. What's our like count at here? 16 likes. Ooh, yeah, that is a little low, huh? Yeah, when liking the stream, it takes all of 5 seconds. What am I saying? 0.5 seconds actually. And it gets YouTube to promote the live stream and the replays of the live stream more. So if you like the contest, am I drunk? No, definitely not drunk. If you like just talking a long time, you can feel my throat getting dry. If you like the content, hit the like button, because this is indeed the last live stream from this space that you will ever see, at least with me in it. You see my EUC. Nobody's felt a difference with the God mod. It's a scam. What do they sell it for? I don't. I'm curious. What does the God mod sell for? Brian says the world might be over here out west. I'm sorry to hear that. Florida still has space. There's less and less, but Larry's going to sell your Hero and you're going to keep your OG Sherman, Larry? Really? For some reason I assumed you already sold that. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't think there's any need to keep the Hero if you have a Sherman S. Okay, yeah, you must be talking about the regular Sherman. Yes, it is. It is reliable for sure. You see my EUC. It depends what suspension wheel. Deshaun didn't like the S18 or V11. The newer suspension wheels are drastically different. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, they are. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the power and stuff with the Master and now the EX30. I mean, all the new suspension wheels are very strong, but I've not heard his opinion on them. Maybe I just missed it. I don't know. I mean, Deshaun's busy building his career in other ways, so I think PEV content is kind of taking a backseat for him. Simon says Florida is a pretty crazy place. It can be. Well, you saw my latest Gator video, right? That was funny. I mean, that whole situation. I talked about it in the video, but I've ridden in, and I started this live stream showing. It might have been one of my original Gator videos where I took the M Super V3 into the swamp. And on that video, I'm riding past tons and tons and tons of gators. And you'll notice every time I went past a gator, it was either just, and they were right on the road, right on the path with me. But they either just stayed there, or as I got close, they would get nervous and they would just jump in the water. And that's always been my situation with gators. They've never moved at me or been aggressive towards me. So this time with the V13, I'm trucking along, and I have a group of people, a couple. They say, there's an agitated gator up there on the path. I'm like, oh, what do you mean agitated? And then there's a group of like 4 or 5 people that had just turned around, and they're like, oh, dude, man, we saw this gator up here, and he was walking at us, and they turned around and hauled ass the other way. And I said to them, I'm like, no problem. I've dealt with lots of gators. And they're like, oh, yeah, really? Okay. So I go up maybe 50 yards, and I see him at a distance. And at first I wasn't even sure it was a gator. Just I didn't know what kind of animal it was. I was too far away. And then as it got closer and I focused, it was definitely a gator. And he was walking towards me, but he was still probably 50 yards away or so. And he took a number of steps, and then he just flopped down on his stomach. I'm like, oh, wow. And he was right in the middle of the path. I'm like, okay, well, this is weird because like usually gators, they're just I had not seen gators walking on the path ever. So I kind of inched my way a little bit closer, and I could determine that he wasn't that big. He maybe was a 6-foot gator. So the amount of damage he could do is limited. I mean, he could obviously hurt you, but so I was debating back and forth. I turned around and all these people are behind me. They're just like, have their popcorn out. They're like, oh, what's going to happen when this guy rides his one-wheel electric bouncing device past this gator? And I had made up my mind because I was debating mentally, should I do this? Should I not do this? And I made up my mind to do it. And just as I made up my mind to do it, the gator stands up again and starts walking again at me. But luckily he was like kind of walking to the side, and I was nervous. I was obviously nervous. Well, maybe not obviously, but I was nervous. But I was just watching him just to make sure there was no aggressive moves towards me, and he seemed fine. But it was bizarre to have a gator walking at me on the electric unicycle. A unique experience for sure. So yeah, Florida does have that, Simon, and a lot of crazy people too. But it's okay. Just like any place, there's pluses and minuses. For me, there's more pluses than minuses, but there are definitely minuses. Stan, can the V13 suspension be removed for a non-suspension riding experience? Yes, there's a conversion process to convert it to non-suspension. So yes, I don't know why anyone would want to do that, because to me, you don't buy a V13 unless you want suspension. But yes, it can be made static. My EUC Florida is 100-degree flatland. It doesn't get up to 100 often, but it does sometimes in the summer. Just imagine 100 degrees and humid. It's a bear. Yeah, it can be stifling. And yet that's the time when I hate the most, having to do all this shit around the house outside. I mean, I'm walking around weed whacking and mowing and just melting. It's awful. So I won't have to do that anymore. Roger says Dawn finished second place. Okay. Yeah, because didn't Dawn have like a broken wrist or something for that race? Because I saw Marty's video, and I don't remember all the details, but I think I remember him saying that Dawn had a broken wrist or something. My EUC confirming for me. Thank you. B13 can be turned into a non-suspension wheel. What time is it? All right. Yeah, we'll be winding down soon because I got to go to work tomorrow. Trace says Chooch had a tiny EUC. Oh, yeah. No, I think Chooch had an M10-4, if I remember correctly. I think I remember seeing thumbnails that he had an M10-4. That's the M10-4. I have an M10-3, which is the prior generation. It's like a 10-inch wheel. 10-inch wheel, but with a reasonably strong motor for its size, which can make it very torquey. Like I've seen M10-4s climb significant inclines. Spartacus. I don't think he's talking about the finger EUCs. I do know what you mean, though. Roger says the science says it would have near zero effect on voltage sag. Okay. That'd probably be something I'd be interested to hear you talk about, because like I said, I thought my impression was that was what GodMod was all about, to prevent cutouts from voltage sag. But I don't know enough about the science to answer that accurately. Oh no, Marty's here. Thanks for the nice words. Any Roger knows nothing about inductance. Yeah, Roger, you talked about the inductance and the length of the wires. Hey, Marty, I'm just kidding. I love you. Yeah, I thought that was interesting, the point you made, Roger, about the length of the wires in the GodMod and how that can cause inductance issues. My EUC, the GodMod gets you an extra 1 mile an hour or an extra 0.5 mile range. Totally worth it. Again, see, that wasn't my impression of what the GodMod was about, but maybe my impression's wrong. I think I said, where did I say that? Maybe the last live stream. think I was talking about Roger again, and so one of the things I like about Roger is Roger gives Marty a hard time, because once in a while Marty needs to be given a hard time. Shane, what's up, Shane? You're heading to Lake Wales, Florida, in a couple of weeks. I'm not sure where Lake Wales, Florida is. Where's Lake Wales? Let me look. I've not heard of it. Lake Wales. Oh, Central Florida, about as high up as Tampa. Yeah, it's probably about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours probably from me. Yeah, it's going to be hot there probably. Bigo crash test dummy. Just Googled electrical inductance and read the definition. I still don't know what it means. Just ask Roger. Roger says, Marty thinks science is magic. I mean, Marty does have a rather technical background. So, I mean, Marty knows a lot of things. But I still like to give him a hard time. Shane says, modern science is magic, or whatever you think it should be. Yeah, it's true. Shane, yeah, Shane doesn't even have his Sherman anymore. You should have your M10-3 and an 18XL. Rode them both today, for a matter of fact. Cool. Yeah, I might hit you up, Shane, to make me, if you still have your vinyl cutting equipment, Shane, I might hit you up to make some more EUC Army window clings for me. Maybe stickers, window clings, whatever you want to call them. I still have a bunch, but I might hit you up for some more. Trace is bless you, brother, just saying it before you go. Oh, I see. Oh, before I go? Okay, thanks, Trace. I appreciate it. I can use all the blessings you can throw my way, right? It's always a good thing. Okay. Hey, Marty, I know that you don't want to become a channel member or anything, but maybe you can bless me by like hitting a like on my live stream or something. You know, I have been trying to watch your videos. If you haven't noticed, you've seen me comment on your videos. I know that sometimes you get butthurt. You think I don't watch your videos. I do. I just might not watch them in the same order as when you release them. All depends on my time. But like when I see a Marty video and I see it's like 45 minutes long, I'm like, oh, F. I mean, come on. I do have a life, sort of, so I don't always have the time to invest 45 minutes in your video. And Marty, what happened to you used to take the time to put chapters in? Like most of my videos, not all of them, but almost all of them, I put chapters in, so you can kind of see what's in a different segment of the video. If it is a long video, a chapter is a great addition. Chaptering your videos is a great addition, Marty. And maybe you just don't want to do it, but I'm just telling you, as a viewer, as a dedicated viewer to your channel, I appreciate chapters. So just saying. Shane says, I've yet to have a single issue for my 18XL or M10s. I still make the shirts and vinyls for fun, time to time, and flying that stupid bedsheet plane mostly though. Oh yeah, I forgot you. It's what's the proper name for those, Shane? Shit. Paramotor? Is it paramotor? Is that what it's called? Is that what you fly? Yeah, it seems crazy. Marty just gave me Marty, I've never given you a thumbs down in my life. Come on, man. Oh my God. You're something else. Thanks, EUC, my EUC. Like I said, I'm heading down here soon. It's getting to be my bedtime. Marty says, sometimes I add chapters, but sometimes I want people to have to watch the video to find the interesting parts, if there are any. Well, I don't know, Marty. I have a feeling that strategy may be backfiring on you, but, you know, whatever. but I'm generally speaking, a 45-minute video should have chapters. Okay. just saying. Okay, so I was right. Paramotors, yeah. Okay, cool. No. Shane asked if I want to go ride on his two-seater paramotor. No, I'm good. I'm good, bud. Have you ever shot video of you flying that? That would be interesting. I'd be interested in seeing you do it. Do you smoke? while you're on the power motor. I'm assuming you smoke cigarettes while you're on the power motor, based on your old EUC videos. MeUC, my EUC. I watch Marty's video on double speed. Not only saves time, but makes him look like he's flying down the road. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. You know, it's gonna make his voice sound a little funny, but I could probably do that. That's a good idea. Watch his videos in half the time. Marty says negative engagement is good for the algorithm. It is. Any engagement is good. Likes, dislikes, comments, they all show engagement. So that's fine. That's fine, Marty, whatever. Wilson asked, do I want you to tuck me in? No, but thanks for the offer. Marty says, I'll try to do better regarding chapters. Thanks for the kick. Well, I mean, Marty, you are retired, you know, so time should not be an issue, right? You should have time to put chapters in. Like my editing process is I go in and I edit the video, do whatever it takes to edit the video. I process it, or I publish it. And while it's uploading to YouTube, then I go back and I'm watching it locally. And as I'm watching it locally, I'm writing down timestamps and general things I want to put in there. And then hopefully by the time I'm done watching the video, well, not always, but the video is done uploading, and then I go in and I put my chapters in, and it's done. So just follow my lead, Marty. I know you always follow what I do. So Shane, I'm looking pretty good at the moment. Yeah, I'm getting it well. Literally, no, I'm 55 now, Shane, but I have gained weight. I don't know if you guys heard me talking about, I've talked about this for a while. For like the last year, my weight had dropped, consistently dropped. Like at one point I weighed myself at night and I was 169 pounds, and I'm between 6'2" and 6'3". So that's a little light for that size. So I have been, for the last 2.5 months, I have been dramatically upping my calorie intake. And right now I'm back up to about 180 pounds, which is where I would like to stay. So I've just been trying to monitor myself on the scale at night. And based on that, if that number starts to dip, hey, it means it's time to eat more. And I've just been doing that. And, you know, I'm still very active. I'm still playing pickleball. I'm playing volleyball now. So I go to the gym. So I do what I can. I do what I can, man. I'd rather be, healthy than not healthy. And Shane just confirmed, of course he smokes and flies. Of course you do. Marty watches most of mine. Yeah, I don't know, Marty. I think you're slipping off. I think you're retaliating, so you're not watching my videos, because I don't see comments from you on all my videos anymore. Marty says, are you serious? You have 1.5 terabytes of video footage in the can to edit. Well, I can tell you what part of that is. Part of that is the Fullerton loop footage that you shot when I was there that you still have not edited. I mean, talk about hurting my feelings. I mean, God, man, come on. And I put you in my videos. Jeez. And people keep sending me wheels to test. Yeah, I know. Now you have the Commander Pro Batch 2, which I don't really understand why you wanted that. I mean, why are you going to test it again? How is it? I mean, I understand that there were some incremental changes to it, but I mean, is that going to make the wheel test very differently? That seems kind of weird that you're spending your valuable time testing the Batch 2 wheel. I mean, that could get a little tiresome. You know, are you going to test like a Batch 2 master, or Batch 3 master, Batch 4 master? You sent a link, Shane. I can't see the link in my streaming software, but I will check it out. 30 seconds of butt pucker. It sounds interesting. Trace is 5'6" and 200 pounds, so you're solid. Okay, good. Oh, I just caught the Tommies here. Hey, you know how many reels I can make out of that footage? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, make as many reels as you want. Yeah, that's your thing. Yeah, Tommy, you're definitely more into the short content nowadays. I don't see a lot of long form videos from you. You see, my EUC is living vicariously through me. Well, okay, that could be dangerous. Shane, having a cigarette lit before takeoff makes for a good wind indicator. Okay, that's a creative way to use your cigarettes. Wilson, that's a good point, Marty. I mean, you're you're getting big enough now. Maybe you can just hire a full-time editor. You just shoot them the footage and let them edit the videos for you. There you go. That's a good idea, Wilson. What do you think, Marty? Okay, so Marty said you only okay. So you just checked out the updates and you gave it back to Lem. Okay, I thought it was Liam. It's Lem. Okay, for some reason in my mind I referred to him earlier as Liam. I apologize. It's Lem. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're not doing another set of road tests with it because that would be a little boring. Ozcrow Performance IND. Good day. Are you another Aussie? Ozcrow? We get a lot of Australians that pop into these live streams. Welcome. I don't remember if I saw your name previously or not. Electric unicycles. How much YouTube money is Tommy making, I wonder? I don't know. Like shorts, I mean, they just recently started monetizing shorts. I don't know, Tommy. How much money do you make? With shorts, you got to get a lot of views. A lot. Okay, so Oscar's from Melbourne. Okay, there you go. Nice. Tommy, you're not monetizing on YouTube, really, dude? What? Come on, it's not that hard. Really, dude, you gotta monetize. How many subscribers do you have, Tommy? Let me see. Let me go to EUC Vibes. I haven't really looked how many subscribers you have. Let's see here. Okay, so you have 2.12K subscribers. So you only need 1,000 to monetize, as long as you have the you need a certain amount of views over a certain time period as well to monetize. So yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. You could get something. I don't know how much you could get, but yeah, you can get something. Okay, so his name is pronounced Liam. Okay, well then I said it right. Good. Because I think I said it based on what I heard you say. So there you go. Liam. Tommy says, I'll pay a stranger $1 million if they pronounce Liam and Sean's name correctly. Okay. I just did it. I could use the $1 million to help pay for my house. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate it. Marty agrees. Monetize is free money for almost forever. It's true. I've been making a few hundred for a long time. Although you do report it on taxes. I got a 1099 from Google. You got to report that on your tax. You don't have to, but I do. It's taxable income. Oh wow, lots of people are trying to cash in on that $1 million. Trace, is there any way you can make a video on monetization for YouTube? YouTube has their own videos about it. Really, if you go on YouTube and you just search how to monetize YouTube, you will see lots of videos on it. But there's like different paperwork you have to submit to Google. I'm trying to think. I mean, it might have changed since I've done it. I think you had to provide your social security number. I'm not sure what other forms they require now, but they need stuff because they will send you a 1099, so they need that information to do a 1099 for you. And then you can set it up as a direct deposit. You can either do it via a check or direct deposit, even though I think they're almost making everybody do direct deposit nowadays because it's less expensive for them. Oh, Tommy's going to monetize. All right, nice. Roger likes to call Lean Lem. Of course, Roger does. That does not surprise me. Yeah, Shane went for years. I used to call Sean Hassang because that's what it looked like to me. Hassang. I would call him Hassang until someone told me. I think Mickey actually was one that told me that his name is actually pronounced Sean. So I call him Sean now, even though it makes no sense. Marty says, Duff is a YouTube pro. He makes lots more AdSense money than I do. Well, that's because I have a lot more videos than you do, Marty, and some of them, get a lot of, or have gotten a lot of views, and they still get a lot of views. Like when I look at my top 10 videos for the last month, like one of them is has to do with changing the headlight on the headlight on a Prius. Another one has to do with how to clean the filter on the Shark Pro cordless stick vacuum. Some of the videos that I put out there that are deal with more mainstream topics, they get a lot more views. You think I will learn from that, but that's probably why. And the fact that I have 1,856 videos on my channel. It's a lot, right? With almost 7 million total views. Tommy asks, am I going to miss this house? Well, yeah, I mean, of course, I'm attached to this house. I'm the only one that ever lived in this house. My ex-wife and I, bought and built this house. It used to just be a blank piece of land. So I have tons and tons and tons of memories on it. But I talked earlier, Tommy, how in many ways my mindset has shifted in so many different ways. And I think a lot of it was impacted by what I had to do to get this house ready to sell, getting it painted. I had so much stuff that I used to think was important that after a little bit of thought, I realized that it really wasn't important. And stuff that I was holding on to for years, I just gave away or threw out. And I didn't lose any sleep over it. I really did not. Just kind of a mind shift. Generally speaking, across lots of different areas in my life, I care less. I care less about things. And in some ways that might sound bad, but in some ways it's good because it keeps me more sane, I think, and potentially more happy. Caring less about things is good. More, I'm interested in having less stuff. I don't need as much stuff as I've had in the past, and that wasn't always my mindset. MeUC on EUC, but if you make a video on how to monetize and you monetize that video, that's bank. Oh, good point. That is a good point. Yeah, maybe I will, because that actually is, again, that's a subject that will have more mass appeal than a electric unicycle video. All non-EUC videos. So yeah, well, yeah, I think if I look at my top 10 videos that my top 10 videos that I have as far as views, I think none of them have anything to do with EUCs. Like if I sort, I guess you guys can see this. I don't think I'm going to be revealing anything dramatic. Let's look at this. Yeah, and you probably can't see it very well. Anyways, it's going to be small. Yeah, kind of see it maybe. If I do that, that's a little bigger. Like that, my biggest video that I have is how to clean the IAC valve in my 99 Toyota Tacoma that I have not owned for 8 years. 165,000 views. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there you go. Not a single EUC video in the bunch. Car repair, how to stretch your forearms to help with tendonitis. My 2016 Tacoma pulling a trailer that was probably too big for it, replacing a starter. Working on my old Craftsman tractor. Yeah, big views. Oh yeah, and look, my drone video for me getting prosecuted in Yellowstone, it actually has almost 90,000 views. Isn't that crazy? And that's my most commented video ever. There's 1,386 comments in that video. People have a lot of opinions about that. So yeah, nothing EUC related. Let's see how far down I have to go to get to the EUC stuff. I think my biggest EUC video is a Z10 video, actually. But here's what I'll actually this. Installing the SwallowBot upgrade on the Mini Pro. That is my highest PEV video. 51,000 views. So interesting, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. But yeah. But when you have videos like that, I mean, they they continue to bring in views, which continue to generate ad revenue. And plus, I have a second channel. You know, I have the EUC Army channel, which is just the EUC related content and PEV related content. I make very little money off of that. That only has 1,500 subscribers and change, but I do have that as well. MUC says Sean's name is actually pronounced Xiong, but Sean's easier to say. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that would be hard to say. Marty says, on my non-EUC channel, which has greater than 16,000 subscribers. Oh, yeah, I didn't know it had that many subscribers, Marty. One of my biggest videos is how to change a vacuum cleaner belt. Hundreds of thousands of views. Yeah, that's true. Like I have videos of like how to change the battery in one of my robot vacuums. You know, tens of thousands of views. Yeah, it's funny. Like things that might seem simple or things you like. Who wants a video on that? People do, believe me or not. A lot of people, I don't know, they're looking for guidance on things that might seem commonplace to you, but there's a good chance that someone might be looking for feedback on how to do that. Marty, good attitude. I care less and less about things as I get older too. Yeah, well, yeah, and I think you were ahead of the curve on me as far as that goes. You know, like the way I was talking earlier, Marty, like the way I would get bent out of shape about people, you know, riding without safety gear and people that were, you know, riding too fast in certain conditions. I would rail about that a lot. And I kind of, and group ride dynamics. Don't forget about group ride dynamics, Marty. I used to really get bent out of shape about that. Now I don't give a shit. I'm just like, hey, if you do something stupid and you hurt yourself, or God forbid, if you damage someone else's property or you hurt someone else, that's on you, and you're going to deal with the consequences of it. I'm done being, you know, big brother about it. You're an adult, so like I said earlier, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, but it's not my problem. Ozcrow, am I taking the skate ramp to my new place? Yes, that is one of the things I did not throw out. I did not give away. It is sitting in the shed, and yes, I will take it with. And I might be able to figure out a place to do jumps. There's like there's a nice covered lanai area, but then there's a big area that's pavers that the guy that lives there now and his wife and his kids. They have like a bunch of like smokers. Like this guy, I think he was really into grilling and stuff. So it's probably I don't know, 50 or 60 foot strip of pavers that might be good for ramp jumping. I don't know. I'll let you know. There's gonna be all kinds of new adventures coming. Pinoy, it seems there are only a few young guys riding ECs and most riders are older. Is it the case in your place? Well, there's not a lot of riders around me. I would say that probably is still predominantly the case. And I think it's predominantly the case just because how expensive wheels are and getting more expensive all the time. You know, a lot of older people, generally speaking, have more disposable income than younger people, potentially. That being said, there's lots and lots of younger people that have them now. But I think predominantly it is older riders, but I think it just has to do with money. You know, these are not inexpensive toys. Wilson, can you point me to your blog? All you got to do is it's literally blog.duff.net. That's there. No. That's wrong. Let's do this. I did recently, within the last couple of months, I made the blog private. There you go. That is the blog. I made the blog private, and all that basically means is you need to register and have an account to see it. I used to have it freely open and anonymously, and I thought better of that. One of my many changes of heart about having it available anonymously out there. So you do have to register to access it, but once you register it, then you can see whatever. So that's how you get there. Trace Verde, you can't take things to heart unless they are worthy. Right. Wilson says, anyone notice you can't filter out oldest video anymore? It's either most popular video or recent. No, I have not noticed that. I have not. Oh wow, Marty! So you have a non-EUC video that is 600,000. So are you still getting monetization revenue from your other channel? Because I know you said you don't really do much with it anymore, but 600,000. That's a big one. EUC, my EUC. EUC is very niche. Yes, it is. Niche. It is. Shane says, if he became popular, I'd be very worried for humanity. Well, I like you, Shane, but yeah, I probably would be too. Wilson says, your pads are nice, man. Yeah, Shane's pads are nice. I had them on my original Sherman. I liked them. Shane says, not worrying about other people is a freeing thing. Yeah, it is. You're right. Yep. EUC, my EUC. Are you going to raise chickens again? Hell no. No. As much as I love my chickens, if I had to do it over again, I would not have gotten chickens. First of all, I'm very animal friendly, very attached to my animals. The chickens were like extended pets, basically. They all had names. Every time a chicken died, whether it's from natural cause, well, not natural causes, illness, or from a predator, or just from falling off the perch at night, it hit me hard. I hated it. I hated losing the birds. And, I probably had 16, 17 chickens in total, and, they all died. So, no, I have no interest in raising chickens again. I felt very restricted when I had chickens. I drastically cut back the amount of time I was wanting to go on vacation when I had chickens, because I was worried about entrusting their care to someone else. I spent a ton of money. I spent somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000, I bet, in total on anything and everything chicken related, between all the supplies, the coop, all the tech. Ridiculous amounts of money I spent on the chickens. So no, I won't. It was fun. It was an experience, but the experience wasn't worth the negative things about it for me. I would not do it again. Shane, is a quality EUC still 2K? Well, if you're okay like getting a V11 or something, or an S18, you can still get that for around 2K. But it seems like 3K is now the 3K, and closer to 4K is the new norm for most performance wheels. Ozcrow, Marty, you need to wear the Darth Vader cape more often. I love when you ride with it. Yeah, Marty, why don't you do that? I love when he rides with it too. Green Wave says the V12. Yeah, the V12 is a little over 2, wasn't it? Like 22 or 2300. V12 is a great wheel, as long as you don't need suspension. Simon says, after 50, it's hard to give an F about the small stuff. I could care less about how people ride. Their life, their problem. Yeah. And that's pretty much where I am now. But admittedly, I was not there for whatever reason. One of the many changes that I've been trying to implement. Marty says, too many $4,000 wheels now. I agree, Marty. It's driving the underground sellers market. No, that makes sense. All the big sellers will eventually be relegated to newbies only. It's true. It's true. I think the it seems like it's surprising the amount of markup in a $4,000 wheel. So I remember in the past, Jason telling me about slim margins, and this is a long time ago, but talking about the margins being slim, but on a $4,000 wheel, the margins do not seem to be very slim. So, yeah, I think there's been a lot of, the last couple of years, inflation, everything's more expensive, which it is. It is, raw materials are more expensive. Shipping containers is more expensive. There's a lot of additional expense, but I think the price of wheels has accelerated faster than the actual expense. and it's easy just to blame it on everything's more expensive, so that's why wheels are $4,000. Well, I don't know if they have to be. So maybe, I don't know, maybe if enough people do like what Marty's doing and look for less expensive ways to get these wheels, that maybe we'll see a change in that. But I don't know. Good question. Shane says 4K is too much. Yes. Yeah, like my Sherman was over $4,000. I paid full boat from E-Wheels on that. And the only reason that it was tolerable was because I sold wheels to help pay for it. Like if I was doing a straight buy in a wheel, I would not spend $4,000 on a wheel if I did not have other wheels to sell to help pay for that. You see my EC. Yeah, the T4 is a good suspension wheel. I have a T4. Like it. So it's more than $2,000. I got mine from Alien Rides. What was it? 22 or 2,300? I don't remember. Shane says chickens are a nasty pain in the ass. Oh, I like my chickens. I love my chickens, but yeah, just the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Let's put it that way. At least to me, it's not. You see no chickens, so goats then. Yeah, now my days of barnyard animal ownership are done. Unlike my dad, I've learned my lesson. But from my experience with the chickens and watching my dad from afar with his experience with sheep, no thank you. You see my EUC. Well, chickens, it depends. It's me. It's me because I cared about the chickens. I thought that they were, I treated them like pets. Some people can get by with just, throwing feed out in the yard and grabbing eggs and not doing much more and make sure they have water. But I went above and beyond. I bought like a storage shed, an expensive storage shed. I built a platform. I built a coop. I fenced the yard in. And then once I had coyote come in and jump the 4-foot fence, I went and I put 4-foot fence extensions around it. So it looks like a prison compound out there to prevent coyotes from jumping the fence. So I have a solar system out there. I have an internet router out there. I have smart switches. I have automatic chicken doors out there. It's ridiculous. It really is. Live and learn. Trace Verde thought about raising chickens, but we have coyotes howling. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, you have to build something that's coyote resistant, like what I have, because coyotes are very smart. They're very athletic. They can jump like crazy, and they also aren't afraid to dig. They can also dig underneath barriers as well. Shane, yeah, this is something I talked about in one of my videos about the V13. Surprisingly, the V13 has 18650s. Which I was very surprised to find because every other wheel on the planet has the 2170s pretty much, as far as I know. I'm not quite sure. I never heard the reason that they went with the 18650s in the V13 because my understanding was the 18650s were being phased out more or less. So, yeah, but the V13 has 18650s in their battery packs. Ozcrow is 51 and had your first ride in the Master start of the week. Nice, dude. Market on a 4K wheels about 100%. Yeah, I know, Marty. Markup, yeah. So, a 4K wheel, you're, $2,000 profit. That's it's a little obscene. I mean, I understand that there are costs with supporting wheels, but that still seems a little out of whack to me. Tommy agrees they're overpriced. Yeah, flat screen TVs nowadays, though, wow. I mean, it's crazy what you can get for the money. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for EUCs to follow the path of TVs. I mean, God, when Allison bought her new house, she got a 85-inch TV for like $1,300 or $1,400. It's a nice TV. I helped her hang it on the wall. Nice TV. It's crazy. You get more for less. And I'm just waiting for that to happen to EUCs. I think I might be waiting for a long time. So Marty says you can get a EX30 for $3,200 from Lean. Cool. It's good to know. I'm not going to be buying one, but that is good to know. I don't know, Tommy, knowing you probably, well, I don't know. I mean, I think you're a little sour on Begode based on your Master Pro experiences and your M10-4 experiences. So you would be rewarding Begode for bad behavior if you bought an EX30. I can tell you the Sherman S is it's currently the favorite wheel that I have ever owned. So, but the EX30 by all accord is a great wheel. So as long as you get one that has 4 working battery packs, right, Marty? Shane mentions Bobcats. There are Bobcats in Florida. I have not had any of those. But yeah, Bobcats, yeah. I don't know if they could climb that barrier that I have or not. Greenway says a couple great Purines will handle all the predators. I've heard of those. Aren't they a type of bird? Is that spelled right? Purines? The birds in the perennies. I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, I thought I heard about that before, but maybe I did not. Oscrow says in Australia, there's one place that they put some sort of tracker counter that counts the chicken steps and they print the steps on the eggs. Okay. What, to prove that they're free range? That's kind of funny. Larry says coyotes are clever, but the Roadrunner always wins. That is true. I was a big Bugs Bunny Coyote Roadrunner fan growing up. Daffy Duck. Cameron says the V13 has 18650s to get more parallels at higher voltage. Oh, okay, that's the reason? Okay. Because 18650s they're physically smaller batteries than 2170. So, okay, interesting. I never heard that explanation. Tommy says Duff picked the Sherman S over the V13 and Marty picks the EX30 over the Sherman S. Well, that being said, I own the Sherman S. Marty, from what I understand, has not had a lot of experience with the Sherman S. I know he's ridden it, but I don't think he has the same amount of experience as I do with it, that's for sure. Marty thinks the EUCA prices won't drop unless the popularity goes up, that there are a lot more sold. Yeah, I can't imagine it ever becoming widespread. Shane says at the moment we pay to play, but at least we really get to play. True. Oh, so a Pyrenees is a dog. Okay, cool. People also have issues with hawks. Hawks can attack chickens as well. Because there are hawks around here as well, and I used to have concerns about that, but we've never had a hawk attack a chicken here. Marty says the EX30 has more flexibility for options and customization. Yeah, no, because I think I heard you talk about that in your EX30 video. The ability to change the shock configuration if you want to. For me, the shock on the Sherman S is perfect for me. So I guess it'd be nice to have that option, but if it's already good, then I'm good. But there's a lot of good things about the EX30 for sure. For sure. And Larry with the pun. He thought of Pyrenees were the two things that keep your legs together. You always got the pun. All right, hey, it's 10:30. Okay. I thought I was going to stop at 10, and now we're down to 10:30. All right, guys, I got to wrap it up. I got to be realistic. I have to be a responsible employee and make sure I get a decent amount of sleep. So I'm going to wrap it up. So welcome. If you didn't hit the like button, take a second to hit that like button just to help out the broadcast, help out the views on the rebroadcast. But yeah, this is the last time you will see me in this environment. This time next week, I will probably be in the middle of shuffling whatever I can back and forth in my Tacoma. And then the following weekend or the following Saturday, the moving truck will be here to move everything else. So it should be an adventure. I will try to keep you informed. Like I said, if you want to check out my blog.duff.net, I will be posting updates in there as well. So that's all I got for now, guys. Thanks for stopping. Thanks to all the members that have been in the chat. I always appreciate your support. And till next time, Duffman out. Check out this transition. Wow.